You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Oh, God, thanks. You cued it. I love it. You pointed. And it's like, oh, right, yeah, we do that. It's as if we didn't record 2 days ago.
Every time I say that, I feel like I've got pie on my face. Like Mrs. Doubtfire when she pops up out of the refrigerator. Hello! And she's covered in cream.
See, I like your posture, Dave. You look like you're on like Theo Vaughn's podcast right now.
Who's
where it's all
that?
chill, relax. The comedian. He has like a mullet. Younger dude.
I don't know him.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about
Theo Vaughn is
Huxtable for
great.
a minute.
He had Louis C.K. on his show fairly recently, and Louis C.K. was like, "Dude, I never fucking heard of you." And my agent was like, "Go on a show."
Me neither.
So I listened to one of your albums. Okay, you're fucking good. I'm glad I'm here. I
Cool.
was like, "Oh, that's a." And Theo Vaughn was like, "Holy shit, I just made it."
Cool. I have to
So-
check him out.
No, he's hilarious.
Does he sit like this?
They're all in like laid back chairs, so it's a very relaxed, everyone's comfortable podcast.
I'm sitting like this because I switched chairs because that one, the back is covered in mold. So, and this one sits really tall. So I'm leaned back so that I don't have to. Because if I sit up straight in this chair, I feel like a vulture on a telephone wire.
I don't know if I need to get a dehumidifier out here or what.
Yeah, things tend to get moldy out here.
They do get moldy.
It's moist.
Set up a dehumidifier.
A lot of moisture out here.
A lot of moisture. It's a regular moisture farm.
It's just moisture farm out here. You need a moisture evaporator.
This is also comfortable.
You look
comfortable.
It does look good.
I got my feet propped up on the mold chair.
Yeah.
So I'm still touching it.
Well, these chairs are free from work, so I'll just go get more.
Yeah, hey, that's a
Yeah.
great idea. I mean, mold ain't going anywhere. So,
Yep.
Not without bleach.
Yeah, we should bleach the chair.
Bleach it. Have all the bleach stains on it.
See, if you didn't know, this is TADPOG, Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games. This week, we're talking about a not so
Very old game.
Super old game. I remember this game from when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. Good old Jaws ROM hack. Dave the Diver.
Yeah. I remember I randomly saw it on a TikTok, and then when you brought it up, Ian, it was like, okay, yeah.
This one
Dave
got
Diver.
pretty popular for like earlier this year, I feel like.
all of a sudden. And it's still highly recommended. I mean, you go on Reddit, especially on the R Steam Deck subreddit, you'll have a lot of people that'll say, I just got my deck. What are games to recommend? Dave the Diver is always
Runs great
on the
the
list.
deck.
It runs really great without burning up a lot of battery power. You can get many hours on one charge with that game.
For real. Going from Baldur's Gate 3 to this.
Yeah.
Where like Baldur's Gate 3, I'd start playing in like 2 hours in. It's like, homie, you're at 10%.
You need
And I'm
to
like,
shut
okay,
me
I'll plug it in.
down.
5%. All right, 3%. Fuck, dude.
Just
All right,
getting
it's
plugged in. But yeah, we did it. We covered Dave the Diver. So talk about that today.
Yeah. But before all that, I imagine, do we have stuff to talk about? Did we abstain from stuff the other day? We've only had 2 days since our last recording, so.
Yeah,
I spent $50 in Cincinnati on my work trip.
Nice.
all.
That's awesome.
That's
Because
all the money I spent
that's all you need to spend.
for 4 days.
Damn.
And I'm not going to ask you to tell me how much you were allocated.
More than 50.
More than 50.
There's a Tim Robinson sketch that's like this guy who doesn't he goes on a work trip and he doesn't spend any of his per diem. He doesn't eat anything because he falls in love with these shirts from these very expensive shirts from the store, and he just spends his per diem on that. I felt a little bit like that guy because I did eat, but what I did was when I got to Cincinnati, I was like, man, I'm gonna Instacart some deli turkey and some bagels, and I'm gonna live off of that for 4 days.
Boy dinner.
And yeah, boy dinner. And it was, I mean, I eat a lot of that anyway. I was missing it. So it was nice. I wish I could get the Oikos yogurt because I eat a lot of that too, but I couldn't get it anywhere. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was good.
And frugal.
Very frugal. And what's nice about when I go on those trips, breakfast and lunch is provided. So all I got to do is cover dinner. So
Which can
Turkey
easily
sandwich
be
on
done
bagel.
with turkey and
That's
bagel.
pretty good.
yeah,
Any condiments or just turkey and bagel?
I got some. I splurged on the pickles. I got the. Oh my god, I can't remember the good pickles.
Wickles.
No, I don't. To be honest with you, man,
Yeah.
I don't like Wickles that much.
I don't get them anymore because of their sugar content.
Oh, is that what's up?
I like my because I mean I think Wiggles are delicious, but they have quite a bit of sugar in them. So if I'm eating pickle, it's always extra. I don't want the calories for a pickle.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's like a big draw of a pickle. I mean, I like them anyway, but go to Jimmy John's. Fuck the chips. I'm getting the pickle, even though it feels like a rip.
Yep.
It's a big pickle.
It's a big-ass pickle.
It's a big pickle, but it's like, is it like a? I don't care. $2 pickle.
It's a lot of pickle. It's too much pickle for me. I like a little
pickle, it'd be
spear. I like a little spear from time to time.
Yeah.
But the whole pickle, I just can't take it.
A lot of ladies prefer
Can't take it. It's too much.
the spear.
What's the little pickle?
A smedium.
Gherkin.
A gherkin?
A smedium.
But no, the snap pickles that you usually eat as like a snack.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
fuck
like
it,
the
man.
unbelievable
I'm gonna put
crisp.
these on a sandwich. I've never splurged like that before because I knew if I bought a big jar, I'm not bringing that back home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did bring leftover bagels home, and I ate all the turkey. And I want to thank you, Ian, because you have turned me back on big time to pork rinds. I'd kind of been like, I'm not going to do pork rinds because I just kind of assumed that the macros on them are horrible.
Nope.
No,
They're not.
They're
They're
really,
great.
they're really,
They're really
pretty
good.
great. I can't have them every day.
As my pre-diabetic, having ass, I've gone back to pork rinds instead of chips.
No carbs.
So, yep.
Low
Right,
calories.
yeah.
Yep.
Crunchy and tasty and
Got
delicious.
a little bit of protein in there.
and a little bit of protein.
When you
It's
said
not.
that.
It's like 6 grams per serving,
which
or
is
maybe more.
which
even
is pretty decent.
That's not bad when you consider how much protein you get from a bag of fucking Doritos.
Right, exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes I need that 6 grams.
Now there is some cholesterol involved there, obviously, because it is a pork product.
Sure.
But if you're like me,
It's
and
not
on a-
hydrogenated, so
yeah, if you're like me and you're on a statin, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
because you have medicine that counteract the cholesterol. But no, I'm with you. I rarely eat regular chips anymore, and we stumbled across it because found out it was one of those things that Tanya can eat with her condition.
yeah.
She can have an easier time eating it, but she gets a lot of protein from it, which it's difficult for her to get just through normal eating, just because
Because she
can't
wouldn't get
eat a lot
those
of
from
things.
chips.
Right.
Yeah.
And she'll eat
it's
pork
cheaper.
rinds.
It's
And they're
cheaper
cheap.
than fucking chips. Because
You're right.
man, I went and bought
$2.50 for a big bag of pork rinds.
I went because there's this buffalo chicken dip the girls wanted, so I made it, and then I was like, I'll grab some tortilla chips with it.
Yeah.
$6 a bag
For the chips?
for Tostitos brand.
Holy
Tostitos
God. Were
chips.
these, what sizes were these? Like a garbage bag full?
Regular size,
Like what's a regular size?
like a party size bag.
not a party size bag. Regular
Smaller than
standard
that?
size
Wow.
bag.
Fuck
$6.
that noise.
I know they're
I
high.
downgraded to the regular. It wasn't store brand, but off brand was like 2 for $6.
Dude, I like those Mission chips.
Mission makes some
Mission's
good
good
chips.
too, yeah.
I
and
like the Mission chips.
They're not bad, and they're usually pretty cheap.
My
Yeah,
favorite
right.
is the thin and crispy, but those are expensive.
Thin and
Thin and crispy is
crispy.
good.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all about those salt vinegar pork rinds. They have some salt vinegar pork rinds that you can get at Walmart, and they're usually like really heavily coated with the salt vinegar. And I'm about it, man. I love that shit. But
See-
yeah, a big jug of pork rinds, like a big plastic jug, is, and I don't know what the weight of. It's a lot of them. But it's only like $3.
Yeah, so
and they last.
It's weird that
2
they're way
weeks.
cheaper. Yeah,
It's probably because I guess it's otherwise considered waste.
It's a byproduct.
I mean, is my
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a byproduct. Maybe that's it. And
They're making a fortune on it because they already have it. They're not having to produce it. They just have to fry it.
right.
You know,
I wonder if we can find a good air fried pork rind.
Yeah, maybe.
Cut back on that cholesterol.
I don't know how it works.
I'm gonna look into that.
I don't have a problem with the cholesterol, so I'm typically pretty good on that.
Yeah.
It's sodium, but that's not just pork rinds. That's,
Yeah, it's in everything.
I mean, I'm like,
especially salt, vinegar, pork rinds.
right. And that's
Lots
what made
of
me think of the sodium. You mentioning that.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man, I bet that's really good. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm already like 2,000 milligrams over in sodium every day.
Yeah, I eat
So,
too much salt for sure.
I
But
can't control it, man. I mean, I don't know.
Good shit though. I'm glad
Yeah.
you gave that some consideration.
Yeah, man.
Because I love those.
I'm glad you brought them up. I like the
Happy to help.
baconettes. That's my
Yep.
brand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The ones
Hot
we
and
get are
spicy.
just the ones that they have at Walmart, whatever they are. I don't even know the
It's
name.
like a
brand.
great
Max.
value brand, or
Max, I think. MACS, Max, I think is the name of them, if I'm not mistaken.
That Buc-ee's bag we had the other day might have been some of the best texture
Actually,
of
those were awesome. They were
pork
perfectly
rinds.
fried.
Boosies.
Boosies.
Boussets.
I saw that TikTok. What's he ever heard at Bussies? Well, we talked about part 2 of our Marvel draft series with villains.
Yeah, we did Heroes last week. So
Yep.
if this is your first episode of TADPOG,
Don't let it be. Go back to the other one. Go listen to the first hour of the previous one.
Right.
I did have a couple of little things I wanted to
please.
bring up. First of all, I've been watching Zom 100
do you like it?
Bucket List of the Dead. Yeah, I'm week to week now. I can't get enough. I love it.
Are they dubbing it week to week, or are you watching it?
So far,
subbed?
I am watching that one subbed.
Cool. That's rare for you. You must really like it.
I do really like it, and I'm running out of shit to watch, and I want to watch it. So I went ahead and I've been watching it subbed, and I've been watching Psychopaths.
Man, I've been really curious about that.
So
one.
far, I've only gotten about 1 or 2 episodes in, and it's really good so far. It's basically Minority Report. You know. It's like it's like human thought is quantifiable, and they can scan your mind to see where your emotional state is, and if you get to a certain number, you have to be taken in for therapy. It's not necessarily like a pre-crime thing like Minority Report. It's more of a you're going to go crazy kind of thing, and we're going to catch you and try to rehabilitate you beforehand. And what's really neat about Psychopaths is they have these guns that are called Dominators, and the Dominators are these AI-controlled pistols that are enormous that can read. They will only fire at people at that are at a certain psychopath level, and depending on the severity of their psychopath level, it could be a lethal kill, a lethal hit, or just a stun.
Gotcha.
And it will inform whoever they point the gun. Whoever's pointing the gun will be informed as to their psychopath level, and the trigger will unlock. And so then it's up to them to decide whether or not to pull the trigger. But you can't just take the gun and point it at anyone and fire it,
Because it'll lock.
because it'll lock
If
the
they're
trigger.
not, it's,
And basically, it's a very futuristic show, and it follows this one new psychopath. There's a division that polices it, and inside the division, they've got actual like criminals that are serving as investigators and they call them enforcers. So they go alongside the detectives to stop people and to catch psychopaths.
Hell's Paradise style.
People, it's Hell's Paradise style, yeah. And it follows this one new recruit who scored really highly on her aptitude tests to be in this department, but is having some conflict with how the punishment is meted out and who gets punished. And, so anyway, like I said, I've only gotten about 2 episodes in, but I've enjoyed it so far. It's on Crunchyroll. And right now, as far as I can tell, the whole thing is dubbed. So I do recommend it to anyone interested.
How many episodes does it have so far? Or
don't
is it,
know.
Is it
I
wrap-
just-
it's
I
not
don't know.
wrapped, is it? I mean,
No, I think it just came out
Yeah.
recently.
I've heard of it.
Crunchyroll was like promoting it really heavily. I think it's like this year it came out.
Okay.
I just haven't. I don't ever dig into that far. I just start watching something that looks interesting. But So yeah, I'd give that a shot. And then, of course, Only Murders in the Building. I've been watching that show.
Yeah, we picked that up again.
This season, and this season is turning out to be.
You're watching 3?
I'm watching season 3.
Okay, I'm almost done with 2.
I have always chuckled at Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
And it's a funny show, and it's got a great story. It's that murder mystery kind of thing. I really dig it. So the episode I watched for this week, yesterday, I was laughing out loud at it. It was that funny. It was classic Steve Martin.
Cool.
Martin Short and Steve Martin's timing is impeccable throughout this entire series.
Hey, 40 more years of working together and we'll get there.
Exactly.
It's only a matter of
But I
time.
really dig it. And season 3 is definitely not disappointing. And then, so the last thing I wanted to bring up is because I think I've mentioned before on the show that how much ASMR bothers me.
Oh, you and Melissa both.
Okay.
What don't you like about it?
Well, see, it was. I think it's who's doing it. If the wrong person is doing it, or if they're making annoying noises.
So who would be the wrong person, and what would be the wrong noises?
I don't know. It would be like if I can't tell you an example of one that I didn't like. It's just that I've seen it here and there.
Eating cereal.
Right. I don't like the sound of eating.
It's mukbang. It's
Like-
entirely different.
I don't care for the sound of eating. I don't like this like repetitive noises, like phones ringing that no one will
Oh
answer.
God, that
or,
does sound awful.
things of that
Yeah.
nature really, really bother me. They're super triggering for me, and I don't know why, but it's always been a problem.
What do you sleep to? Do you sleep to anything? Does it have to be silent, or do
She
you
puts on. We've got one of those sound machines. It sounds like rain.
So rain you're okay with?
Well, so okay.
Is there enough variety in rain?
She's got this thing on her iPad that she can like put what she wants to add to it. So it's a storm, and then she says I want it to have thunder, and I want occasionally, and she can like add stuff, and that doesn't bother me. That kind of thing doesn't bother me, but I hadn't really given it much of a chance. Like the stuff that I had seen irritated the shit out of me because it was people trying to be edgy and mean about it. I found one that turns out I do like ASMR. I was on YouTube the other day, and this one channel came up called Latte ASMR. This is Japanese woman who has been doing this for several years. I mean, some of her oldest videos go back to 7 fucking years ago. I mean, she's been at it for a minute. She's very passionate about it. And when she first started, it was Japanese language. So she would speak in Japanese, but she does these little role plays, and it's like makeup. It's like she's putting on your makeup, or she's brushing your hair, or giving you a haircut, or
She's doing like conversational
ear
stuff
cleaning
while she's doing
and
it.
stuff.
or-
Yeah, she just sort of talks and does the little sounds with her hands, and you can hear her hands kind of going
Yeah.
like this and all this kind of
Is it
stuff.
the ASMR you like, or is it the connection?
What do you mean?
If she's being nice and doing the things like she's doing like you're having
Both.
a conversation. Yeah.
It's the idea that I would be really cool if someone would like touch my face and whisper in my ear and stuff. It's not a sexual thing at all. It's very soothing.
I have
At TADPOG prom, everybody come to Ian and touch his face.
not without my consent. Not without my consent.
I'm one of the I cannot. Maybe it's because of the channels that I frequent and flow through. But I mean, I can't separate ASMR from anything but sexual.
Okay. I thought that might be a problem too, because for one thing, she is super pretty.
Yeah.
But it's not, and maybe it is in a way sexual, but not like I don't watch it because it's sexual.
Right. No. Sure.
It's just,
I'm not saying this is a you thing.
yeah,
It's
no.
a me problem.
No, yeah, no, it's fine. I understand. But
I've
the
seen-
thing is, I have never understood it is. I guess it's just the way she does it.
Yeah.
Because of course I don't know what it's like to have someone put makeup on me and stuff.
We could find out.
We could find out. But it was neat because like it's very calming, and I've been having this going in the background at work. When I'm super stressed and I can't think and I can't concentrate, I will turn on one of her videos. And at first I was listening to her early videos, which again were in Japanese. And I do not speak Japanese, but I love the sound of the Japanese language, especially when it's being whispered to me while a woman she's whispering in this ear and then she'll go over to this ear and stuff. But it was weird too, because she'll like act like she'll like do her hands up by the camera like she's rubbing like with a brush, like she's rubbing your face with a brush or like brushing your cheek or something. And it's so strange because like I'll feel a tingle on my face because of the way she's doing it. It's making my brain expect that sensation.
I think that's awesome because we have these webinars for work, and some of them are like wellness webinars, and one of them was talking about it wasn't all about ASMR, but it was like a small segment.
Sure.
And the therapist is talking about how some people feel tingling sensations.
I get that.
And I'm jealous because I've listened to a lot, and there are certain things that I like earlier a lot of the voice stuff is sexual to me, but I don't know if this is ASMR or not. I love in food videos where they've got like the cutting board mic'd up really well, and you can hear the I love that. I don't get tingly or anything, but like that sound is so like
soothing.
Yeah.
Well, she will do that. Now apparently she has been getting better and better and better at speaking English over the years, and is doing most of her videos in English. And shit, I actually gave her $5 and subscribed to her channel so I could unlock more videos, because there's 100 of them. I mean, she's just been working, but she does this thing where she'll like pick up a bottle of like, I don't know, fucking witch hazel or makeup or something, and she'll tap her fingernails on the bottle and move it from side to side. And it's just a really nice sensation. It's very soothing. On? That's what I was going to say next.
It's a good question.
It is a good question, because the thing that works for me, and I think what it is, I have a pair of AirPods Pro, which are noise canceling. And the noise canceling of the AirPods Pro is spectacular. When you click that noise cancel feature on, it seals to your ear and you can't hear fuck all. I mean, you can, but it's like mostly what you hear is what's coming out of the headphones. That is when I get the tingles in my face and the shivers from feeling like someone is literally talking into my ear real softly, because that's all I can hear. It's like when she moves her face over to the mic on this side of the screen, it's mixed properly so that what she does here goes in my left ear, what she does here with my right. It's stereo. Yeah. But that's what does the trick. And the other day, we went to eat lunch. I went to eat lunch with Captain Gun Nerd, John Turley, and our friend Jillian. And we ate at this Mexican place, and for some reason, it did not agree with me. A few hours later, my stomach was so upset, and I was miserable. And I thought, I wonder. And I turned that on, and within 15 minutes, I was feeling better. I don't know what the effect is. I don't know what chemicals my body released, but my stomach just stopped bothering me. I felt better. I felt calmer. And it was like, this is my new favorite thing. It has just become my happy place to sit and listen to this woman do her thing. And I don't know what it is, but I felt like it was important that I mention it and completely recant my stance from before about how much ASMR bothers me, because I found some that I I get it now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be for everyone, and not every ASMR is going to be for me, but this one was really neat, and I want to make sure that we say the name again. It's Latte, Latte ASMR on YouTube.
I've got it written down for the show notes.
I would highly, just very much like for you guys to go check out her stuff, like and subscribe, all that good thing. And if you're really into it, give her a couple of bucks because she works very hard. She deserves it. And I wanted to give her a really big shout out because it's actually one of those things that it is rare in my life that actually makes a big difference in the way I feel.
Is it like a Patreon thing, the $5?
No, you can subscribe through YouTube now.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is a
so
new thing?
it'll go through like Google or whatever. So if you're signed into your account, there's a subscribe. There's a
we have that on
you
our
can
YouTube
subscribe.
channel. I just need to finish setting it up.
Okay. Then you say join. It's a join button, and she has tiers set up, and you hit join, and it'll say $5, and you say sure. It's reoccurring, just like Patreon.
Yeah.
But
Neat.
It gives you access to all of her gated content.
That's also hosted on YouTube.
It's also hosted on YouTube. It's
Cool, I didn't know
all
about
in
that.
the same platform. It's very convenient, so it could be a bad thing. You
I
know,
gotta
it's
be
easy
careful.
to spend that money.
I'm gonna have to call my dad and be like, "Hey, man, you asked me a very cute and quaint question last week, where if you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, do you have to give the person money?" And I said, "No, of course not." But now I need to call him. And be like,
It's
don't hit
join.
hit
Don't
join.
hit join, right?
Yeah.
Unless now it'll prompt you 17 times to make sure that you really want to do it.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to fuck or hard to fuck that up. But the thing I want to make sure to point out though is a good set of headphones, preferably noise canceling headphones, if you can do it, going to make that experience a whole lot better. So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up and make sure I got out there because it's rare that I run into something that I want to show support for, and I want to make sure in my limited platform of our show that we get that out there so other people can enjoy her
Yeah.
as well.
Well, the way you say about the face tingling.
Tinglins.
Tingling.
We call it the tinglins.
Reminded me of a TikTok I saw where they're doing an experiment where they had the guy put his arm like over a fence so he
seen
couldn't see
this.
his arm.
Yeah.
And then put
Yes,
the same
I've
sleeve,
seen that
the
too.
fake arm, and then trick him into feeling the things they do to that
Yeah.
fake arm, and then hit it with a hammer.
And they
saw
hit
that
it with a
on
hammer and he
for,
freaks
like,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
For neurological stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's-
talking about like why it works and all
Yeah,
that.
But
so
that
when you
was
said
a-
your face started
Yeah.
tingling, it just made me think of it.
That is a visual component because if I have to minimize the window to turn around and do some work,
Yeah.
I don't get that. Now, some of the sounds she makes might make me get a little shiver or a chill just because it wasn't expected and it's an aural sensation. But the thing with the face tingling, I have to be actually watching the video and she do something like that and then I feel it. And it's the strangest thing, but it works wonders for me.
Cool.
So
I'm glad you brought up Only Murders in the Building because Steve Martin and Martin Short were just recently on Conan's podcast.
oh yeah.
And it made me think, it was funny because we were talking about Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And Henry started listening to it
Oh,
on
did
his
he?
own. We watched
Okay.
clips together on YouTube, but he went to bed one night and I was in the bathroom and I was like, it was real quiet and I heard voices and I was like, where's that coming from? And then I realized it was coming from his room. I was like, is he watching YouTube? He's supposed to be asleep. And I walked in and Conan's podcast was playing. And Henry was sleeping. And I was like, okay, I'll turn this off. And I asked Nikki, I said, did you know he was listening to podcasts? And she's like, yeah, he's been putting on Conan's podcast the last couple nights before bed. I just thought it was cool.
I love that. I think that's awesome.
And for a minute, I was like, is that appropriate? It's like, yeah, most of it is. I mean, there's way less appropriate things out there. But I just thought it was cool that he went out of his way to like find it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And start
No, I
listening.
think that is really neat.
Yeah.
You could do a lot worse than Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I need to start listening to that
It's
show.
it's a great show. Yeah, it's a fantastic show.
In the majority, I hate celebrities having podcasts. But
Same.
I'm on board with Conan, like having a medium where it's like you can do whatever the fuck you want,
Right.
you know, because I feel like that's always been stumbling block for Conan because he's funniest when they let him do what he wants, but I feel like the suits always
they keep him
him on a leash.
the man keeps him down.
Yeah, the podcast is great, and yeah, I mean they do get to do a lot of stuff, and I agree with you, man. There are a lot of celebrity podcasts that I'll listen to for a little bit and then just kind of fall off.
So it was with what, Senseless, Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm sorry. Who else was I cut you off?
from Will and Grace. He was Jack and Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
God. Yeah, just Jack.
Can't remember. I know you're talking.
He's always going to be Jack to me. I can't remember his name either.
Sean Hayes.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go.
Someone turn me on to that because the McElroys are talking about him because they win the Addy every year. Whenever the McElroys get nominated, but always lose to Senseless or whatever it's called. And they were talking about it. I checked it out. The episodes were funny, and then
Yeah.
They can overcome plenty of barriers to entry. This is not one they need, even if it's funny. So,
Yeah, there is a little bit of, I don't know. It is weird because it's kind of like, for me, a lot of it is spite because it's like you could do anything. You could do TV. Like, I don't know, man.
I get it.
This is a medium that was like,
You're already a celebrity.
Right.
Give us a shot.
yeah, exactly.
Get out of the way.
Right.
that's the feel about TikToks too. Like that's why I like TikTok steers to new creators and people who aren't famous, and you know.
Are there a lot of celebrities on TikTok?
More, but
Really?
I
Yeah.
end
I
up
guess that
steering
makes
free.
sense.
The algorithm kind of bends me away from a lot of their content. I
Right,
like that.
sure.
So that's where it steers you away from it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of the things. Like, I mean, I know podcasting's changed a lot because
Yeah.
it's been around for a while, but like, to me, a podcast is kind of just regular people. You know what I
get
mean?
it. And I think, too, also, I want to just add a little bit of my own sort of flavor into that. I would have no problem with someone who made it big as a podcaster.
Oh, sure.
Continuing to be a podcaster.
Right, yeah.
It's like, but when you're a TV and movie star and everything else, and you're like, let's do a podcast. We'll make millions of dollars on it because everyone already knows us.
Because we have a brand.
Because we have a brand.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with you on that for sure.
I mean, I guess more power to them.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I don't think there's anything
I-
wrong with it. It's just usually not my cup of tea. But Conan, definitely an exception.
I think he's an exception.
And I think a lot of it's just because he's so talented.
Yep.
He is so fucking smart.
He's
And I
not
love
just a
all his
celebrity.
spots on 30
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, he's not just a celebrity. He's like a comedic genius. I mean, truly.
He really is. That's no exaggeration.
So it's always fun just to see what he's doing. And I agree with you. Even when he had, his shows, it always felt like his show was always like the most creative.
Yeah, it's not he's not a mainstream sort of comic, and that's what they wanted for the Tonight Show
He was the
and
edge,
shit like
man.
that.
Yeah.
He was the edge. And I mean, he's the reason you laughed at The Simpsons for the first 10 years it was on the air.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why his brand of comedy hits so well.
And, oh God, all his shit with Jordan Schlansky or whatever his.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love this stuff with Jordan. It's great.
When he takes him to the Olive Garden,
I know.
fuck me.
Yeah, I like all the stuff with Sona too, and she's on the regular podcast. She was his assistant, and yeah, she's fantastic. She's really funny. They have a good back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick that one up. I just keep forgetting to do it. And for some reason, excuse me, I'm eating candy.
It's good ASMR.
For some reason, I've got it in my head that I am going
Ian
to
John?
I am going to eat. I am going to finish last podcast on the left. I'm going to get current.
Yeah,
Whew, that is an endeavor.
I've made it pretty far. I've made it into about. It's going to take a while.
Yeah. I
think I'm
love
at like
them. I love
episode 250.
everything but the aliens. I fucking love the shit out of their stuff. I'm just not an alien
That's like
sort
me
of
and the
person.
X-Files.
Yeah.
Every non-alien episode, I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
I've gotten good enough, if you will, at listening to last podcast to know immediately if this is an episode I'm not going to want to hear and just skip to the next one.
Yeah.
But they're really good, and they still. Zabrowski makes me.
Henry Zabrowski
laugh.
is fucking amazing.
That dude.
But they need each other.
They do need each other
Because I listen to side stories. I like side stories, but when you take Marcus out of the equation, it feels like the floor is just falling out from under it.
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure. They make a concerted effort to make sure it stays on track and it stays on point, because it can derail. But God, Zabrowski makes me fucking laugh out loud frequently, and I don't mean. It's like I don't mean to. It literally catches me by surprise how funny his shit can be, and I will be in the car and I will just I have been to the point of almost having to pull over because he gets me tickled so much.
Yeah.
Charles
I got
Ng,
like
that Japanese serial killer.
Yeah.
He does that voice.
God
damn it.
that was actually the one.
Is it racist? No. Listen to Charles Ng.
Listen to him
It's
talk.
Not being
This is
racist.
the way he sounds. Actually, Tyler, that might have been the one I was just
so
referring
good.
to.
It's so good.
I was laughing so hard in the car, and I'm like, this is unsafe. I need to pull over. I'm going to have a wreck. I'm going to hurt somebody. Finally managed to get myself under control, but I do think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it was the Charles Ng stuff.
And we're only 1 degree of
me going.
separation from Zabrowski. Because he follows Jacob. They work together on Your Pretty Face.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. I
forgot
didn't know
about
that.
that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Because I'll see Jacob on Twitter and Henry comments on his shit. So-
Okay. Well,
Pretty good.
Jacob, tell Henry Zabrowski I think he's funny. All right. So, we're 41 minutes in.
Marvel Villains.
Would you like to do some Marvel Villains?
I didn't even ask what we were doing. Let's do me 1 and 2, Ian 3 and 4, Dave 5 and 6.
Okay. You don't like that first roll, huh?
Well, I rolled it, then I was like, I didn't even assign anybody any numbers.
I don't even pay attention. I don't know if it stays the same each week or not.
3, Ian.
All right, I'm not going to be as strong on the villains as I am on the heroes.
Because there's less of them.
Because there's less of them, and I tend to just not pay as much attention to the villains as I probably should. Magneto, that's my number one.
There you go.
I gotta grab it.
They do a good job with Magneto. Like, his backstory and everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is. I mean, that's like super. It's
You
relevant.
get where he's coming from.
Yeah,
You know what
you
I mean?
do.
I feel
It's
like with Magneto, you really get where he's coming from, but
Yeah.
it's like, man.
When you're a child, you side with Professor X and hate Magneto. As a man, it's the other way around. Then my first has to be Doom. Victor Von Doom.
Nice.
Yeah, Doom's a big one. Especially, like, obviously not so much in the movies, but like in the
Yeah,
comics.
not all, but
like,
definitely in
Doom
the
was-
comics.
Yeah, huge deal.
Dave?
I'm going off the top of my head, so these are probably going to be pretty awful. Magneto was going to be a first pick for me for sure.
Me too.
So I came into this being like, all right, I'm going to grab Magneto first. I'm going to figure the rest out as I go.
Same. It's all in the roll of the dice.
I'll go with Galactus. I'll go, the Devourer of Worlds. I mean, I also feel like he hasn't had a really good presence in the movies. I mean, he was a
He was
cloud.
some ships, sort of.
But I mean, Galactus, pretty big deal.
Yeah. And I was glad in Marvel's Capcom 3 that he was the final boss.
Yeah.
That was really well done. I like
Yeah.
that. Ian, number 2.
My number 2, my grandson is texting me about problems he's having with Roblox. And
Oh,
apparently
shit.
I'm the only one in the family who knows anything about computers. Anyway, sorry. I told him, sorry, buddy, I'm busy. Now I've talked about him on the show. My number 2 is going to have to be Green Goblin.
It's a great pick.
I like his whole deal too.
Yeah.
Especially the way he's portrayed in the movies. I think Willem Dafoe is Green Goblin for me. It's such a cool, it's a great story, and Green Goblin is a fucking dick. Yeah. I mean, like, that dude is like, honestly, he ranks up there for me just because he's so fucking evil. But it's that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. You've got his alter ego, Osborn, thank you. You know, who doesn't generally recall being in Green Goblin form, you know, and he goes out and just wreaks havoc and kills and murders and blows shit up and tries to kill Spider-Man.
And you got the complication with his son being friends with Peter.
The drama of him being in there. And it's really a really excellent story for him. So Green Goblin's my guy.
I'll do another heavy hitter and claim Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos is a good one.
Man, though, I just don't. Thanos, at least as far. And again, I didn't read the comics like you guys probably did, but I just thought Thanos was unnecessarily overpowered. Like, even without the Infinity Stones, he was basically unstoppable.
Yeah, as a Titan.
Yeah, as a Titan. And I get it. I mean, I know that's the thing. He wouldn't be much of a, universe destroyer if he were just some dude like me, right? Yeah. And obviously we're not picking up Infinity Stones and wielding them all.
Still time
for long. I mean, just ask Tony Stark how long that lasts, right? But I just thought, I don't know, Thanos bothers me because of that. But I think that's what makes him a good villain. I mean, he's a great villain. He's just a little too much for my taste.
Dave, number 2.
I have to say, true to my middle school self, I got to go with Carnage.
Carnage is on my list to pick.
Even though I know, in hindsight, incredibly shallow villain. Carnage is one of those where I feel like he probably shouldn't have come back. Like, Carnage, I think, would have been a cool, like, one-off where it's like, would have been a cool arc. And then, I don't know, because it's just like the concept of like, what if a symbiote bonded with a serial killer? That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's so one note that, there isn't a lot of depth there.
Yeah.
Like with Venom, there's a lot of like, there's depth. Like, because there's a lot of like, because Eddie's not a serial killer. He's just a kind of a dick, and it's like, but with Cassidy, it's just kind of like, man, he just likes to kill people.
yeah. That's what he does.
But man, big fan of Carnage in middle school. Huge fan of Carnage in middle school.
I remember just reading that, being one of the last episode of Maximum Carnage just over and over and over, whenever like Carnage is having that breakdown in that abandoned house and Venom just going in and just wrecking his shit.
Yeah.
Until he snaps out of it, and then Carnage beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But,
that was,
man.
Yeah. That Carnage was great because it was like, I already love Venom, but it's that like power creep where it's like, okay, we took Venom, but now he's completely fucking nuts.
Ian, number 3.
Let's see. Ronan.
I liked Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
I thought, like, out of the movies, I know we talked about this last week. Killmonger is probably my favorite villain, but Ronan is like really, really close.
Ronan's a dick.
Ronan
he's
is a
like,
dick.
he's
scary.
like, he's scary. Yeah. He's effective as a villain. And I also like the way they kind of shut him down at the end of Guardians,
Yeah.
I'm distracting you, you big turd nugget or whatever.
Right.
But I like, it's weird. I like the guy that plays him. a lot. I think he's very effective, and he's also in that show Foundation that I mentioned. He plays a role in that. It's on Apple TV Plus. I don't know if I mentioned it.
Yeah. I remember that now.
He's one of the main characters in that as well, and it was nice to see him working outside of,
Was he in his makeup?
No, he looked like a normal dude. It took me a minute to figure out who it was.
I'm about to say,
he
man,
wasn't blue.
I wouldn't know.
He wasn't like a
think I would
super
know.
Cree or whatever the fuck they are. But yeah, no, he's a good dude. So Ronan is my guy for number 3.
Cool.
For number 3, I'll go with a favorite villain as a kid. I loved the struggle back and forth, so I'll go Dark Phoenix for number 3.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix is a good one. I'll go with Apocalypse.
Yep.
Age of Apocalypse was one of my favorite, like, alternate realities that Marvel did. God, I love that Age of Apocalypse series so much. It was such a cool, I guess it was like the first time ever that I had experienced it as a kid, where it's like, oh man, for like, I think 4 months, all of the books are going into this like alternate timeline that show like how the world is when Apocalypse like takes over the world. I thought that was really, really cool. Man, those books were so good. I haven't read all of them either. There's a bunch of them, but yeah, some really cool stuff.
Ian, number 4.
Thank you, Truncate Silence. My grandson is distracting the hell out of me, so I'm not able to get my thoughts together. I have told him in not so many words, leave me the fuck alone right now. I didn't say that to him, but I'm like, Cohen, I told you I'm very busy right now. You're gonna have to get help from someone else.
Can I tell you that when I was in Cincinnati, in the middle of all of it, like the middle of the meeting, I'm trying to like sort shit out. Henry's texted me, "Hey, I want to buy War Thunder." And it's like. Fine, send the request because I have to approve it, because we've got it gated. And he sends it. I'm like, so I'm working and I see it come through and I approve it and I'm working. I get a text, it didn't work. And it's like, okay. And I look at it like it went through and I took a screenshot and sent it to him and I go back to work. Yeah, but it won't let me spend it. And I'm like, man, can you please?
Not now.
Not now.
Not now, dude.
And I'm like, I know you're frustrated. I know that you are, but I can't right now, dude.
Yep, they just don't know how to leave you the fuck alone, I guess. I'm going to go with Agatha
Nice.
from WandaVision. And not just WandaVision, but as far as I know, Agatha from WandaVision. What a great twist that was to that show. I love that they had a whole theme based around her, and there's a show coming out apparently with her in it. Catherine Hahn is the one that plays Agatha.
She's Catherine Hahn.
Holy shit! How
she's
do you
Catherine
not
Hahn.
love it, right? Yeah, Agatha.
She's like Parks and Rec is just fuck. She's so good in Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Good shit.
Number 4, I will take Kingpin.
Ooh, good one.
He was on my short list for sure.
Yeah, I knew I was going to try to draft him 4th or 5th.
Yeah, Kingpin's a dick.
And to be the in like 3 or 4 different rogues galleries is pretty accomplished.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I was gonna save him for you, but I'm gonna take Sabretooth. Saberto.
Honestly, I didn't even think about him, and I would have been mad afterward if no one had said anything.
Leave Shriver though.
Oh yeah, Liev
Yeah.
Schreiber is the
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about X1.
No, I don't want the
Fucking
blonde one from the
Sabretooth.
cartoon.
No, yeah,
Leave
Liev
Shriver.
Schreiber, 100%, 110 fucking percent.
I understood that reference. Dr. Octavius.
Yeah.
Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
Octopus. Love Doc Ock.
Yeah, Doc Ock's classic.
A lot of my baddies come from Spider-Man because like I said, I had a lot of Spider-Man in my life, but Doc Ock's great, especially in the most recent Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Not
yes.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. I like that iteration of
No Way
Dr.
Home,
Ock too. Yeah.
where they fix him,
Right.
and it's like, God, he was such. I love that movie because of the tie-ins with the old
totally.
films.
Yeah,
and
they did that. That's wonderful.
it is wonderful. So yeah, Doc Ock.
I'm gonna go very dark horse on my 5th pick,
Okay.
based on I'd only ever heard of him when I picked up a Super Nintendo game where he is the primary villain.
Arcade.
Arcade. Arcade.
Oh man, I can't support that decision, but hey man, it's your draft.
Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge.
You got me turned on that spider. You got me on that Spider-Man. You got the Green Goblin. You got Doc Ock. I know this is probably. I'll lean into this because Tyler said arcade, so we can't get any worse than that. I'll go with Dr. Kurt Connors, the Lizard.
All right.
I always like some of the best Spider-Man comics, classic Spider-Man comics. I thought had Kurt Connors in it. Because,
I didn't know if you were going Lizard or Sandman.
Oh yeah, Lizard. I mean, I like Sandman. Okay, I just haven't read as much as like I've read of comics with the Lizard in it. I think the Lizard's great because of that whole friendship that they had. They kind of do the Doc Ock thing with Peter and Kurt. So I like that.
It's what's that one universe where Sandman just fucking has it and jumps in Spider-Man's mouth and bursts out of him.
Wow.
It's a gruesome. It's like Spider-Man laying out and his ribs are all broken out, sticking out of his costume, and his sand's running out of him. The sand's like, I finally did it. I finally killed Spider-Man.
I've had enough of your shit, Peter Parker. Keep in mind, I could have done this 10 years ago. You finally pushed me too far.
Any honorable mentions?
The Rhino. I mean, he's
The Rhino and Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Yeah.
I thought of Onslaught as well.
Yeah, man. I thought about Onslaught too because you were talking about Marvel versus Capcom, and he's the boss in Marvel versus Capcom 2. And I remember when that Onslaught storyline was going on when I was in high school, and I was really into it until the reveal of Onslaught, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, because it's like Magneto that's in Professor X's
Juggernaut.
mind, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, well,
I thought Omega Red, but I didn't go Omega Red.
dude, I Omega Red was on my list too because I don't really know that much about him. He wasn't major. I know in the I guess second volume of X-Men, the one that came out in the 90s, I know he was like a really big villain for that first arc, but he was in Children of the Atom, the fighting game. And he was so much fun to play as because like he kind of had like Doc Ock tentacles.
Yeah.
And he could send them into the ground and like snake people on the other side of the screen and stuff. Yeah, he was cool. Good choice.
Red Skull is a good
Red
one.
Skull.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked his arc a lot, especially in the MCU.
Yeah.
Being relegated to being the guardian of the Soul Stone.
Yeah, that's a great reveal.
It really is. And for him to be resigned to that fate, like he doesn't consider it punishment or reward. It's just, this is what happened. This happened. And I am this. And that is what I am, And then the way he has to play the unbiased, sort of Raiders of the Lost Ark style guardian of the chalice.
Right.
You have to do this thing if you want it to fucking work. And if you do, you'll get it. If you don't, you won't, kind of thing. I like that he is sort of brought down about 1,000 pegs to that level, but he accepts that fate. And I think that's really cool. So yeah, Red Skull was definitely on there for me.
I guess collectively the Sentinels.
Master Mold.
Sentinel / Master Mold.
Yeah. I almost mentioned Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
I think Sinister's pretty cool.
He's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting's a better descriptive word to use.
We didn't name for the draft. We didn't name Killmonger or Namor. So Those belong. I don't get any. Nothing else comes to me.
We want to take a break then and roll right into that game talk?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Get into some Dave the Diver coming up after these messages from our sponsor.
We'll be right back.
Have you discovered it yet? They have. They have. Discover the double delicious taste of sushi sushi. Share double delicious sushi with family, with friends, or at work. Sushi, it's double delicious.
And now the game talk.
Hello.
Oh, wait.
Game talk.
I am woefully unprepared to talk about Dave the Diver, except that I've played this game more than I usually play the games we do for the Super Nintendo. So
Girl, same.
maybe I am prepared. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I don't think I am because, like, I'm about 8 hours in Dive the Daver, and they're still introducing new shit to me. I'm 8 hours in, and they're like,
man.
you can dive in the evening, and I'm like, what? You're adding another dive phase to
you
this?
see, you're farther along than I am. I didn't know you could do that.
So I mean, and then like a new app is on my phone now, and it's like, I am 8 hours into this game. Stop.
it's a lot. There's a lot to keep up with, for sure.
Yeah.
But let's see there's not really box art, but the cover art for the game.
I don't even know what it looks like because I just bought it on Steam. It's kind of one of those things where it's like,
I think it changes fairly
on the store.
Off and on the store, depending on like what build of Dave the Diver this is, because it's being actively updated by the developers, like constant. There's always some sort of an update. They're always bug fixing. They're super responsive to their community.
Yeah, I noticed that on the page. Like high divers or attention divers.
Yeah. Big news always coming across the Steam community feed. So
I like the typeface choice for Dave the Diver. I like the yellow. I think it's smart decision. Play off of the sea blue, you know. Yeah,
High quality pixel graphics.
It's very high quality pixel art.
It's like a mishmash because like the characters are pixel art, but then like the ships are 3D modeled. They're rendered.
Yep. The undersea environment.
There's particle effects.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole bunch of different stuff that could clash, but it doesn't.
And the fish are rendered. You can tell they're not pixelated either.
Yeah.
It's just it's a really neat really neat interesting mix of art styles, graphic styles that makes it work.
Yeah, it could go wrong, but it does. I think it works really well. It kind of gives off the Square Enix 2D, 3D, oh my gosh, very popular
Triangle
RPG.
Strategy.
Triangle Strategy uses it.
Octopath Traveler.
Thank you. That's the one. Octopath Traveler. It kind of has vibes of that a little bit because that's mixing 2D art and 3D art. But because most of this takes place underwater, there aren't a lot of like buildings and stuff that you would
because
see in
it's
Octopath.
essentially two games smashed into one.
Yeah.
Half of it is diving. I don't want to say simulator, but diving adventure, shooting fish, exploring, gathering materials, and then the other part is sort of a cooking simulator where you're working in a sushi restaurant serving what you caught diving.
It's more like remember that video game Tapper?
Server simulator?
Yeah, where you got to run to get the beer, catch the beer, serve it, send the glass back before it breaks or whatever, It's like that. You play Dave, and Dave, not our Dave. Not to be mistaken for our.
Don't you dare play.
I'll take that ROM hack
host. But you gotta customers sit down at your sushi bar.
Where Dave is Dave, you're Cobra, and I'm Banzo. It'd be great. Somebody make that happen.
I'm thrilled that you had me be Cobra because he's kind of cool. But you got people come to sit down at your sushi bar, and the chef prepares the dishes, and you got to get them and then walk them over to the customer before their little aggravation bubble turns red.
Yeah.
Pour
And
their
they
green
leave.
tea just
Or
right.
Pour their green tea
Or their beer.
Or their beer.
When you get the
after
beer
you get to
upgrade.
beer. That's right. And
You also bust the bar.
and at some point, yes, you do. You bust the bar, and at some point, you can hire help because it gets harder. So you can
Yes.
hire help to help you serve the food. You have to pick the menu each night before the restaurant
I like
opens.
that part a lot.
I like that part too, and it's very dependent. That the menu is like the linchpin of this game. Like the menu is what makes this game work, I think, because you generate money from the menu that you put together and then serve the customers. But you can only serve what you have caught in the diving portion of the game. So the menu is that's the thing. Like that's the key. If you don't have the menu, you can't. You're not bridging the diving part with the restaurant part. And I mean there's a story to this game which I kind of just didn't focus on because
I kind of buzzed through it because I was ready to get back to doing one thing or the other.
Same.
right, yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in that
too.
loop. That loop is awesome. Of like it starts out where you dive in the morning, you dive in the afternoon, you send everything that you've caught back to the sushi restaurant, and then you do essentially the tapper game, which I think that part. I don't mean this as like a discredit to the game, but the sushi portion of the game very much felt like a mobile game to me. Like,
It is.
like because I've played restaurant managers like
Yeah.
on a mobile phone, and it has a lot of those like dog mark like all those hallmarks.
I agree. And then the other thing too for me is that I tend to get overwhelmed pretty easily, and as you mentioned, there's a lot of things going on in this game all the time. And one of the things that I find I appreciate the dynamic, and I appreciate this aspect of the game, but is the fact that your menu, you can really tailor it to a certain clientele.
Yeah.
You can pick all really expensive dishes depending on what you caught. You can, and then there's modifications to the dishes that you can earn, like upgrades. You can upgrade the slots to the menu so you can have more things.
Based on your social media ranking.
And you've got a social media thing going the whole time, which is very much an Instagram-esque kind of thing.
Cook stuff.
Thank you. What I do like
Which
about
would
that
absolutely
part,
be a good thing. If,
it
in
would.
real life.
Cooksta is really neat because as you complete tasks and kind of overcome obstacles in the sushi part of it, which is heavily dependent on the diving part. What did you bring up?
Right.
Were there custom things that people, like certain restaurant reviewers, requested and you get given tasks to catch these certain fish so that the chef can do his ninjutsu and and he always does these really great cut scenes.
I love all the cut
Sush
scenes.
jitsu.
Oh, sush jitsu.
I love all the cut
The cut scenes are all so great, and they're so funny because it's exactly what you would expect. You're 5 minutes into this game and one of these things happens. It's not a surprise. You get the feel for the developer's sense of humor from these cutscenes probably more than anything.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not like keyed in on the dialogue throughout the game. But that menu, to me, it gets a little complex. And I find myself just kind of glossing over it and being like, I'll just throw 5 of these 27 gold ones on here, and I don't know how much I'm possibly hurting myself by creating the menus, how much I'm literally leaving on the table. Because when you aren't fast enough and you don't serve all the food, what you don't serve is thrown away, and it counts as a loss.
Right.
Or if you don't know what you're doing and accidentally throw it away and have mad patrons like I did.
Right.
I was thinking, I need to dash. Oh no, I threw it away.
Right, you can press the wrong button. And when you're running behind the bar, you can move a little bit faster, and you by holding down the trigger, and this little stamina meter goes down real quick because Dave's kind of an overweight fella.
Which they point out a lot.
Yeah, they
felt
do.
kind of bad.
He's not the most athletic. He's an extremely gifted diver, but he's not exactly fleet of foot, as they say. So you're kind of hobbling the dishes, and it's a very frantic sort of situation, which we all know I'm not terribly fond of. But I don't know how much more I should be paying attention to my menu because, like Tyler said, I want to get back to diving. I want to get back to that boat. I want to be under that water, catching them fish, completing them quests, which you get lots of.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the money
you're
make,
never bored.
It loops back around because the money that you make at the restaurant, you can then put into buying
upgrading
more
your
gear
stuff.
for your.
So
your
it's
dive.
essential
Yes,
that you do well. And I've always had pretty good days at the sushi bar, but I'm in chapter 1. I'm in chapter 2 now. I just finished chapter 1 a couple of days ago. But at the same time, I find it to be it's overwhelming at first, but it's very entertaining and it's one of those really good games to keep just kind of put down for a while and then come back and play another couple of hours and then go back to it later. I've really had a good time with it. It's just some of the components aren't my jam.
It was hard for me to put down is kind of what I ran into because there were times, there's twice this week that I fell asleep playing it. I wake up and Dave's dead,
Right?
Because he drowned because I fell asleep. But I mean, it's like I don't mean that as in it's a boring game. I mean I played it until my body was like, we're done.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't help that the music.
Yes.
is so underwater soothing, very calypso kind of mellow undersea tunes that just really, it's very
Like
mood
Donkey Kong
setting.
Country underwater
great.
music.
It's so
It
good.
just feels good.
It does. It's very good.
I love this game. I will still keep playing this game after we're done with
knew
this episode.
that
Yeah, I
you would like
figured
this
this was
game. This
definitely
was
more
my
your
prediction when
Yeah.
we did Pizza Tower. I tried
this is
to tried to pacify you,
You did.
by saying I'm very certain that you'll like
Yeah,
Dave
no, I
the
did. I did
Diver.
like it.
And I agree
do
with
have,
you. I think this is better than Pizza Tower.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked Pizza Tower, but this is like
It's paced better.
this is paced better. Well,
and it's more diverse.
it's subjective, of course.
It
but,
is,
but I
yeah.
mean, but yes, it's my complaint about the game so far is what I've mentioned is you're introducing new mechanics to me 8 hours in. This tells me that it's a long game, and I guess that's okay. I just kind of got bummed out when I was like, okay, how long to beat? 22 hours. Good Lord. That seems like a lot for this kind of game. That's probably going to be a lot of people's jam.
Yeah.
But, and if I weren't playing it for a show and I didn't feel like I got to play this, I might have a different attitude about it. But I mean, I kind of got to the point where it's like, Jesus Christ, can we like,
I get that same.
move along?
There's got to be a word for that because I do find myself becoming. It's like whenever I actually think I may have mentioned this in a previous game. It's like, God, what was it? What was that beat game that came out? That musical game that recently came out on Xbox Game Pass?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush was like that for me. Yeah. When you play through the intro and the training segment, it just keeps throwing more moves at you. And it's like, fuck, I just want to play the game. And it kept interrupting me and interrupting my pace when I felt like I was getting somewhere with a new move. This is like that in a way. This is like, okay, now we've got the guy who wants you to collect all the fish cards, and he's going to come up and tell you how to use this app.
Which I did not fuck with
right.
one single bit. I was like, choo-choo, I don't think so, man. I got like a sushi.
I got guns and fish, man.
I got a lot of fucking money to make, dude. I don't have time to play Pokemon with you.
It is. It's fish Pokemon, really.
Yeah.
And, except with real animal, like
Real
based
fish.
on real animals. and
My
real
only
fish.
problem with the game, though, which I did, I really liked it, genuinely very much liked it, is the same problem I had with Stardew Valley, in that the stuff, I enjoyed it. Once I started enjoying it, it was over. And then,
Like what?
like by the time I'm really enjoying diving and catching fish, I'm out of there.
Right.
I'm out of weight. That's it. And you can, enhance those so you can go longer, but it's still not long enough. I'm in the groove and happy and getting that dopamine, and I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay, I
get
go
that.
back to the sushi.
Doesn't
all
go
right,
on
I'm
long
hitting
enough.
a groove, pouring, I'm good, and then that's done.
Right.
So I get. It's like I'll compare it to listening to my brother and me. They do an hour-long show. After an hour, I'm like, oh, already? Okay, I wish there was more, but I'm satisfied. None of these segments are long enough to satisfy me completely. I'm frustrated because I was just starting to have fun.
I think I don't know how far you're into it, but the diving segments get longer.
Okay.
And they do introduce that evening diving session.
I'm
too.
excited
So it
for
goes
that. I
from
didn't know
that
about
sounds
2
that.
to 3. And I mean, there's diving sessions where it's like I get frustrated because I run out of weight.
So
Yeah.
to
You
know what I mean?
clarify,
Real fast.
what they're referring to is, for our listeners that don't know, is when you're underwater and you collect things. You collect a lot of different things. You collect not
Fish.
just fish. You can collect different
Ore.
like lead,
soy
glass,
sauce.
Ingredients.
bits
Yeah.
and pieces of this, that, or the other, rocks, wood, rope, things like that are all used either for crafting or for selling in the sushi restaurant or whatever. You have a finite amount of weight. As is to be expected. This is as you said, Tyler, sort of a simulator. In other words, you do have to keep track of how much you're carrying, how much oxygen you
manage a
have,
lot.
how deep you can go.
Right.
And of course, all this can be upgraded with money. That's, as you were mentioning, Dave, that you can make your suit upgradable to go deeper and deeper and deeper so the pressure doesn't crush you. Or you can get a bigger oxygen tank so you can stay under longer without having to top off, or a bigger crate that allows you to carry more weight so you can get more shit. Because once you come up, you come up. So if you dive in the morning, you can go down, fill up your weight, do whatever you need to do, and then go up. And then you've got the afternoon. Time passes. You do it in the afternoon.
That phase is done.
But when you come out in the afternoon, until apparently it unlocks evening diving, at first you have to stop and go to the restaurant and do the sushi fishing, or sushi serving, I should say. But one of the other things too, though, is there are quests and things that come up that trigger events. So if you are you're down there diving, you're, like Tyler said, you're in the groove, you're finding all this good fish, doing all this shit, and then you do the quest thing, it can immediately end, and you have to come back up.
Right.
And that ends your diving session. So, but the good news is you can choose whether or not to deal with the quests right now. I tend to go ahead and to do them.
Yeah, just knock them out.
But there is a lot to keep up with.
And I mean, all that upgrading, I mean, I there's times where I'm diving for an hour. Like, I mean, it gets to a point where it feels like a really long time.
It does seem like you're down there for a real long time sometimes. And one of the other things I was going to mention before I forget is there's no health meter.
Right. I think that's great.
When you're underwater,
Yeah.
if you get there's some aggressive fish, there's sharks, there's
Does it drain your oxygen a little?
drains your
little bit more?
oxygen.
Okay.
And so
It's
your
all
oxygen is
oxygen.
it's all
That's
about
what I
the
thought.
oxygen.
Yeah.
But I was like, what kind of damage am I taking here? I bet it's oxygen.
Yeah.
I was too like fuck to even like look over at the meter. Is this going down while I'm getting
Yeah.
it?
And it's nice too because you just have one thing to manage, and the oxygen depletes on its own as you breathe it. Mm-hmm. It is reduced when you're hit by aggressive fish or sometimes pirates.
Yeah.
There's a segment where it's like, oh, cool, I'm just murdering people.
Yeah, you get to
now.
like shoot it. You get to shoot harpoons at people.
It was very like out of the blue. Felt like very like almost clashing with the feel of the
They're
game.
coming right for me.
But then they do. I mean, I felt like fucking Anchorman, where it's like I shot a dude with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
floating in the water, face down, blood pouring out of him. And then at the end of it, they're all like, "We're okay."
they reassure you you're not a murderer.
Right.
But we have been humiliated and we're leaving.
And then also with the oxygen, if you swim fast, it depletes faster too. So they
or if you're too heavy,
Yes.
and you start swimming, you will deplete your oxygen faster.
I think it's great. It's all designed around that oxygen
It
mechanic.
is, and
Because
it's
you
good.
can find an escape pod, which
Right.
I was bummed out the first time because death in this game is fucking brutal. It makes me want to rage quit.
It could
when
be
happens.
worse, but it is brutal. It does suck when I have full weight, like I'm encumbered, and then it's like, oh fuck,
You
that
keep
is a shark.
one- Yeah.
That is a shark, and I can't go very fast at all.
So what happens is you might have a crate full of all this awesome fish and these rocks and this stuff, and you're ready to cash the fuck out. If you get killed, you can only bring you get to choose one thing
Ugh.
out
So
of
it
the
could
crate.
be worse.
It could be zero
It could be
things.
zero.
But it's almost not worse. It would almost not be worse because I gotta really labor. I have two things for this quest. Which one of these one things am I keeping? And I have to go back for the other thing. Which one of these things was the hardest to get? You know, it's actually pretty cool
Yeah,
that they
it is
give you
cool.
that moment of regret. But you learn. You learn the hard way that you better be careful, take it easy. But you can't just go up and cash your shit in and go right
go
back
back
down.
down,
You've got to
right.
take into consideration that this is one of my diving sessions.
It's risk reward.
This is gonna, if this ends now,
Yeah.
I might not be able to come back down here. And the other thing about this game that is kind of interesting and cool is that the layout of the undersea area changes every day.
Yeah.
Like a Diablo 2 dungeon. Changes every time you go into it.
Although I do think that's really cool. I was expecting it to change more than
It's
it
not
does.
extreme.
It's
by
not
any
drastic
means.
because a lot of the tiles are reused and
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
that. So
Well, they also have quest things that they have to build in that
Right.
have to be at least somewhat findable again, because I've almost died looking for a thing that I needed to kick off a quest feature.
sure,
So they have to at least be consistent with that so you don't spend all your time searching.
and they're constrained by width too because I feel like it's called what, the blue sea, the blue hole.
The blue hole.
Yeah. It's this geographic anomaly where like all the fish in the world live in this blue hole. It's a spot of water, and it's not very wide, but it's very deep.
Very deep.
So I think the limitation of the width also comes into play with how
With how varied it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how deep it goes, but
neither.
I've been pretty fucking deep.
Yeah.
Because I've got like a level 5 suit. I've been upgrading the shit out of my suit and my oxygen tank, and I've gone pretty fucking far. And I haven't even gone 2/3 of the depth that I can go with the suit that I have. And
I still got the Logitech controller. I go deep, I'm dead.
Please reconnect controller.
but anyway,
Early on, I was upset because I had all my quest items, a full load of fish, like there's a good run, and then I'm swimming and I see escape pod. Like, okay, well I don't want to touch that yet. I'll wait till my oxygen is almost over, and then I'll deal with it.
Yeah, that's how
so
I
that's
do.
what I do, and I barely got any oxygen left. And I get it, I hit the button. I'm like, all right, cool. Okay, it's taking forever. Now there's a cutscene. Okay, and then I'm just dead. I was like, I wish I would have known how that works.
oh, because you have to
first.
hold,
have to
the,
hold
button
the button
down,
down.
Yeah, and then,
let the
it
little
takes
circle
forever.
fill.
Yeah.
Like, I wish before I dove, he would have said, hey, there are certain places under here where if escape pod, it'll take me some time to get, but I have to do it while I'm down there. Because if I have plenty of oxygen, why would I go check the escape pod? If I have...
I've done it. I've done it when I may have plenty of oxygen, but I got a real aggressive fucking shark on my tail.
Yeah, I'm good now that I know.
Yeah,
But
now,
that
right.
very first time,
But
I
at
didn't know
first,
how it worked. That made me a little salty.
I get that.
Like-
I do.
I get so greedy in this game. So greedy. Ian, we
I
talked
know
about this a
this.
little bit on Tuesday.
When I was working on editing the show Tuesday, Dave was playing, and
the whole time you're hearing bloom,
blue, blue. I'm like,
which is my oxygen.
I'm like, bro, it's making me, because we mentioned that the oxygen starts blaring. The whole screen flashes like red
Red.
around the edges when
And-
you're,
and beeps
but
at
it's
you.
like It's like
40.
at 40 out of 100 and whatever. 40 is a.
You got plenty of time.
You still got
Plenty
like
of
a
time.
lot of time, but it gets you in that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da mode. You know, it's like I gotta hurry.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Exactly. Or you've got, you're under a minute in Mario.
Right.
You know,
the music starts beating up
real fast.
Yeah.
That adds to the stress, and it's like, yo,
I like it.
let me turn it down to warn me at 30. Give me an option to
That would be cool.
warn me
Customize it.
at 30 or 20, because by that point, probably a good idea for me to find my way out of here anyway. If I haven't done that, I probably deserve
I've
to
drowned
die.
so many times because it's just like, nope. No. And I'm like, my inventory is already full. And I'm like, all right, throwing rocks out. Yep. Haven't caught that fish yet,
Well, I love getting the little tube thing that makes you just go super fast to the surface.
What's that?
The
now? I don't
oxygen
know
tank.
that.
There's some little the scuba thing where scuba divers will have to go deeper, but it's the automated
scooter.
thing.
It makes you
The
go
scooter
faster.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that scooter too,
Yeah,
man.
I do too. But it burns out too
It
fast.
does.
Like
man.
I got one the first time I got one. I was like, wee! Oh, I'm out of fuel for this. It just goes bzzz, so you got to use it sparingly. I use it to escape sharks.
I use it to kill sharks.
You can kill. You can kill with it.
My go-to is the sniper rifle, and so I pair up that scooter with the sniper rifle, and I have you used the sniper rifle?
No.
Much? Sniper rifle fucking rules because it's like I see that shark, they don't see me.
So you got a huge distance.
Oh yeah, and you've got like a laser sight.
Oh,
so
I have
it's
got to
very
get me
accurate.
one of those.
The problem is it only has 3 shots, but there's ammo. There's ammo everywhere. So what I'll do
Okay.
is I'll find a shark. I'll take note of where ammo is because you don't kill a shark in 3. It's
Right.
at least like 4.
Right.
So I'll shoot the shark. That gets his attention, and as he comes closer to me, I scoot out of the way, and I use the scooter to pick up the other ammo, and then go back and
snipe him
finish him
again.
off. Killing a shark is so much fun because they suck. They will fuck you.
Yeah, the
up.
first time I see one, it's like,
you
oh, there's a
up.
fin off on the screen, and I'm dead.
They will fuck you up. And there's one point in the game where I was swimming around deeper than normal looking for a quest item, and there was a fucking huge
It's that fucking tiger shark, man.
It scared me.
Yeah, it's like the biggest
I was
thing.
like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, when you see it is the biggest thing that
Yeah,
you see
so
in
far.
the game.
Well, the,
So far.
the
I've seen in
Kraken.
game.
When you
Well,
see
that
its
is
eye.
that is true. The Kraken's much larger.
God, it is.
But the other thing that's great about killing a shark is that the sushi you can make from the sharks just go for so much money.
Oh, God,
So
yeah.
much money. The meat's so heavy. Like the other day, I swear to you, I'd killed 3 sharks and my inventory is like maxed out.
Is this
And I'm
when you
still
were
like,
at-
I can kill one more.
Is this where you were at like 60 and trying to swim out? And,
Yeah, my max is supposed to be 45 and I'm at 69 kilograms.
Triggered the shit out of me. I was just like, God, Dave, please don't look. Just go up. I was like, find an escape pod. He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, no, you're not. No, please.
But I love it because it's like what I love about so another thing that's great about the sharks is one of my favorite things to do in the sushi restaurant is you can upgrade your recipes.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier.
And
but I
it's-
don't know really much about that.
Because it's awesome because it's like if you have so let's say you can make a dish out of 3 fish, but you have 6 fish. You can take 3 of those fish and upgrade the quality of that menu item. And that's a permanent upgrade. So, and by upgrading it, it means that it generates more money for you and it generates more customer satisfaction. So, what's great about sharks, not only can you make really expensive dishes with them, they provide so much meat that you can upgrade them rapidly. So, I mean, you go up with you kill a few sharks and go up, and it's like all of a sudden you're selling like $200 sushi per plate. I mean, it's just like, and then that can just go right back into cargo.
Yeah.
That was my loop because my whole
You
thing was
like
just
to
like, put it all in that
upgrade
box.
cargo.
Bigger box, more sharks, fit in the box.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
And that was way more fun to me than like the quest stuff was. Like any of that. Like my thing was just like, how can we kill more sharks, make more money?
See, I'm questing.
Capitalism rules.
Yeah. Well, look, man, when it's so cut and dry like that, and you don't have to like, oh man, I gotta go in and like I gotta prove this shark recipe through the government. You know what I mean?
Right.
When it's a video game where she just gets like a samurai dude, he's like, yeah, I'll cook that up.
Well, I'm a quester, and I like doing the quests and moving the story along and finding the weebs, anime figurine.
Duff
and
is something else,
it's
isn't
great. But what I love about this game, and in case we haven't made it clear, this is a really good game, and I think we're all on the same page that we
he?
like it.
I think it's a great game.
100%.
But it has something for everybody. You can be the kind of player that you are and get satisfaction from this game. Whatever you like is probably going to work out for you.
Yeah.
One way or even though everything ties in together, you can focus on a specific aspect of that whole part of the game or whatever and be satisfied with it.
Yeah.
So it's really well thought out and
Very well designed.
very well
'Cause
very well
you
designed.
get dive specific weapons, right? That once you leave, you don't have that anymore.
Right.
So like the poison harpoon and shit like that, you don't carry over. So there's
You don't carry over, but what happens eventually is, have you met Duff yet?
no.
So-
With the anime guy,
Yes.
the gun maker.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So the way that works is, and I think this is really neat, if you pick a weapon up, Duff can make it. So if you're down on a dive, you're right. When you come back up, that weapon is thrown away essentially.
But if you find the components, he can make that weapon so that you do have it available permanently.
Okay. So, 'cause, like I'd like to get that baseball bat I got that one time over the knife.
I don't know if he can do melee weapons or not.
I don't either.
Because he
that-
might just be able to do guns.
Again, the
So
weapon.
John Turley in the TADPOG remake is Duff.
Yes.
Makes it
I don't know. Partly.
The
Yeah.
gun part.
Not the weeb part.
the
Well,
Like
it's
Duff
Star
is like-
Trek stuff
Oh.
instead of anime
Oh,
stuff.
that would work.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Duff gave me like some Scott vibes from your
Yeah.
your actual
Okay.
play.
He might be the embodiment of Scott from the Scott Pilgrim versus the World actual plays we
Scott
did.
O'Connor.
But the gun part of it is a whole thing. Just like the fish cards are a whole thing, and the instant cooksta is a whole thing,
Right.
and the quests you get sent on are there are so many like deep components to this game. It shocks me that it was as cheap as it was,
Yeah, it's $20.
given how much this game has in it. Because that says nothing about you can upgrade your restaurant, you can hire more employees, you can change the look of your place. There's all manner of things that you can do in this
And
game.
you pour a lot of time into this game.
can.
Yeah, for sure. Which I think is a good thing, but it's also one of those things where it's like, man, I'll be honest. I thought this was a great game, and I had a lot of fun with it. And it didn't feel like some of the games we play feels like work. This didn't feel like work. This was fun.
This was an enjoyable experience. For me,
However,
too.
I'm not sure I'm going to go back to it, and it's not because I didn't enjoy it. It's just
You put a lot of time into it.
there's just other stuff. There's just so much stuff to
Yeah.
play.
You're probably at the diminishing returns point of it.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to check out more of the evening dives and see, because I hear like the fish, they're more aggressive fish in there. It means more sharks, maybe. But I don't know. It's just, and I think this game like really got a lot of popularity because of when it came out. Because it was earlier this year. It was before all the big game. Because like this year got fucking crazy in July. Like
Yeah,
around
it
July
did.
hit, and it's like a lot of like Diablo 4 came out, Final Fantasy 16 came out. Like Baldur's Gate 3 came out. Like a bunch of
It's a
big,
big year.
fucking heavy hitters came out. This game, like I feel like just beat all of those out. And I think that if it had come, like if this game came out like If it had come out like 3 weeks ago, I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
think it might have just been swallowed up.
It might have, but then again, I think too one of the big factors for this game's success is the Steam Deck. I think this, in my opinion, this is a must-have if you own a Steam Deck. I think it works. It runs so well on the deck. You can see everything. The controls are flawless. We haven't really even touched on the controls.
Well, I was about to say, can you remap the controls? I didn't look into that.
I think you can do that. I know you can do it like on the deck. You can make your own template.
Okay, because I got frustrated trying to play it. What the harpoon feels weird.
Yeah,
Having to slow down and then pick it up. I hit the wrong button. The whole goddamn time.
I did that a lot, too.
I kept hitting the wrong buttons.
I did that a lot too, and you do eventually get accustomed to it. But like, I think the controls, like the movement and the intuitive layout of the controls, the way that it's put together is really
Yeah, I like the
really
mini
well.
bullet time you go into when you have the harpoon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
it's helpful.
but I think this game really truly shines brightest on the Steam Deck because aside from being easy to see and easy to control, it's easy on the battery. It doesn't require a whole lot of resources, and you can play for a few hours on one charge without having to think about it. I was shocked. I played it for a few hours the other day, and when I finished, I exited out and went back to the main menu, and I still had 59% battery left.
Yeah.
And that's unusual for the deck,
Right, yeah.
especially depending on what you play. If it's a graphics heavy like Baldur's Gate or something like that,
2 hours.
it's going to chew through that shit quick. But this did not, and I think a big, huge reason for that game's success is because I think it was designed with the Steam Deck in mind. I think it was made for that platform first.
I think there's maybe some supporting evidence there because it's only out on PC and Mac right now. And
it works with Mac.
According to, I haven't tried it myself.
I would try that. I might try that just to have it
Just
on my
to
Mac,
try
just
it.
in case. Yeah.
But I don't see it. There's not a schedule release for any other system other than the Switch, and the Switch is, also a handheld.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think this is this is a fantastic portable experience, and that might be honestly the next time I play it.
If
Might
you're on a
be
trip,
plane.
if you're on a
Right,
plane,
right.
yeah, if you're going to be waiting, if you're a DoorDasher and you're sitting in your car and you don't have anything to do between orders,
Right.
you could pull this up and play it easily and have a good time while you're waiting. So. Yeah, I think this game is essential for the Steam Deck. If you have one and you're looking for something good to play, Day of the Diver is where it's at. There's a little something for everybody in there, and it's appealing to most. I think most people could find something to like about this game.
I agree. I feel like this is appealing to a wide audience.
Very wide audience.
I know Tyler brought up the melee weapons, and I fucking love the melee weapons in this game because you start with like
satisfying.
They are. The sound
and they're
is
goofy.
good. Yeah,
Because it's like you start with a dagger, but you can get like a golf club, a
get a
baseball bat. There's a
katana.
stun baton. There's the cheap katana,
Yeah.
and then there's the expensive katana.
Yeah.
One of my favorite one is literally a poison eel or like a sea snake.
Yes.
And you use it as like
I
a
saw
whip,
that.
and it only strikes downward, so it feels like a Castlevania 1 whip.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a sea snake, and when it hits something, it poisons them. I think I loved all that stuff. The variety and a lot of the humor comes through in those melee weapons too.
It does, for sure.
The harpoon has different like tips, which I think is really cool. Like you can apply like an electric tip to it, and that like it changes the way the harpoon works. Like when a harpoon hits a fish, you can move the joystick left and right, and if you do it enough times before time runs out, it shocks the fish and they become paralyzed. There's another one that's like the fire harpoon tip that burns the fish, and they each have a different like mini game mechanic to them. Like I think the harpoon by itself, the regular one, like you have to tap the A
just
button
tap.
to fill up a meter. I think
The
that's
poison
really cool.
you rotate to fill up the skull with the green.
Oh, see, I hadn't
poison.
done that
Oh,
one. I
no,
don't think
I
I've ever
hadn't
gotten
either.
that one.
Okay.
So yeah, it's neat. It's essential in a game like this that's run based because you need that variety.
Yes.
Or else it's going to feel stale really fast.
Well, and they put plenty of weapon chests and supply chests and oxygen tanks and ammo boxes littered around the ocean floor for you to find and pick up. Lots of variety per run, and it's all there almost immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to wait for a lot of that good shit to show up.
Right, the core is right there.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
thing is, you just can't take it with you. You just can't take that weapon back up with you. You can use it while you're down there, and then it's gone unless you get the guy to make it for you later. But yeah, those are the variety. I love the little trident thing, the little trident gun,
The
or the
shotgun?
triple axle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shoots in 3 directions all at once, and you can really just murder some fish.
Does a lot of damage, but man, you got to be right. You got to be right the fuck up in a shark's face.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because the first time I saw that shark, it was coming from me. Cannot know. You die. Okay, all right.
Sharks are scary.
Sharks are scary.
Because there are achievements in this game already, plenty. I think they're good.
Yeah.
Because there's no shortage of like nice little pop-ups for unlocking different achievements. Because I saw, Dave, you had a fuck ton of them by the
Do
time I
I?
logged on. Yeah.
I don't know how many I've got,
I don't know either.
but they come pretty quick. I feel like
Yeah.
I didn't chase, and probably wouldn't chase any of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, because this kind of gives me Hades vibes, like a little bit, as far as it being like run based, but it doesn't have that same kind of like. Doesn't have that same draw. That,
Oh, yeah,
that-
yeah.
that
No. Hades, like,
had
for
me.
Yeah, I would look. Do I have time for a run? Like,
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, I got a little bit of that. Honestly, like I did get a little bit of that with Dave the Diver because I'd come home for lunch and I'd eat turkey sandwich on bagel and not a lot of variety in my diet. And then I would be like, I got 20 minutes. I could probably, no way, get through a dive in that time, but I would do it anyway. So yeah, I got a little bit of that, but it just didn't have the problem I have with it is that Hades came out first, and Hades is like the bar for run-based games
Yeah.
for me. Like
Yeah.
and that's
And that's
a super high bar.
Yeah.
That's not fair to Dave the Diver because I think it's an excellent game, but I mean, my bar it's up there.
I still play Hades. I started over on my deck.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Hades is a great game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's fun, and it's a good one to just jump in, do a few runs.
Of
and
all
jump
the
out.
games that I would erase my memory so I could experience all over again, that's definitely up there. God, Hades is so good.
Huh? Hades 2.
I know, dude. I'm fucking ready for that shit, man.
I'm just curious to see what they do.
Yeah,
Because it's one of those where it's like, whew, that's
they
tough.
must have had a good idea because they originally said
No,
we're not going
right.
to do sequels. So somebody must have been like, okay, I know
Somebody
we said
must have been
that,
like,
but
guys, this made a shitload. You know how we said we weren't going to do it? Look at this number.
Yeah. And then they're like, we have how many investors? They want to give us how much money? We got to make that. Yeah, we'll do something. We'll make it good.
But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I know that
I
Supergiant
would have
was-
thought they would have like, I have a good enough idea to justify this.
Right.
This time you have to break in
Yeah.
to Hades.
Well, yeah, there you go. I've seen that on Reddit where everyone was talking about like, what if the sequel was you make it to Mount Olympus and you live, but you want to escape Mount Olympus, so then you have to, and all the chthonic gods are instead sending you boons to climb down Mount Olympus and try to escape.
Man, you know what would be cool is if it was you make it to Mount Olympus and you're escaping, but you have to kill the the gods on Olympus, and the ones that you kill lock out the boons that you can have.
Ooh.
So then you're in this situation where it's like you're almost, if you want to do like 100% completion, you have to not accept certain
You have to
boons
do
on
not.
certain
Yeah.
runs.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I wonder if they're doing. I wonder if Supergiant is doing that like Lost thing where they're just like, we're just gonna keep our eyes on Reddit.
They might.
Some people are gonna have some really good ideas.
They know what they have. They know
Yeah.
their fan base, and they probably will run with some of that shit.
Where Lost was like, what? People are guessing it? Make it not make any
Fuck it.
sense so no one can
Yes,
predict
exactly.
it. Make it fucking awful. I don't care. No one guesses.
This'll get them.
It's like that where Josh guessed the boss in Jacob's game and fuck it, you're
Fuck it,
fighting
you're
him.
fighting
Fuck it. Okay. Sorry.
Man, I haven't rewatched Lost.
I have.
Nikki rewatched it,
Well, so
and,
now I watched
and I know it wasn't as strong on that rewatch.
Maybe don't.
But man,
Season 1 is still fucking
It
great.
is still great. Season 1 is still super fucking strong.
That's when it's all fresh, and I like the survival angle still going
Sure.
on, but
anytime I think about it, though, anytime I think about rewatching it, I think about that whole season that took place in the past that doesn't fucking matter at all. And I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
think I want to rewatch Lost.
I don't recommend it because it was a few years ago, but we rewatched it and I was just like, fuck.
the Hatch
The
is
magic.
Oh,
after
yeah,
Hatchet,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all
Yes.
downhill.
Yeah, Hatch is great.
And I
You're right,
I
think it's
still get chills, right?
Yeah.
About the hatch, about that reveal, and about them. I mean, how stressful was it to just speculate for months? What the fuck is it? What's in there? I loved it. It was one of my favorite moments in television. And then, yeah, you're right. After that, it was like, fuck,
Yep.
what have you done?
Once they got off the island, you know what I mean? That's like the LA Noir like thing for me, where it's like I feel like I've said this on the show before, but in LA Noir, I feel like the good story is done. Same with Persona 4 Golden, where it like reaches a point where it's like, okay, I feel like this is it. The thing is, it's over now, right?
Yep.
No, it's not. There's more, and it's not as good as what just happened. God.
I mean, I guess I do need to romance the fortune teller, but fine.
I think LA Noir is a bigger offender of that than Persona 4 Golden. But like, because LA Noir is like, man, it's all about this fucking like homicide mystery, and then it's like you solve it, and then the game keeps going for some reason.
You're on the arson unit now. Okay.
What? No, I beat this game.
It's like fucking Lord of the Rings. It never ends. This is it's over, right? Nope. Are they gonna kiss?
Any other comments about the game?
I think we've covered it pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, I think so. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
The beard of Iron Chef French Hiroyuki Sakai. Because he had his nice little mustache and his shiny red chef suit.
Those are standard issue, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking up names because I was like, what are all the names? I forgot there was an Iron Chef Italian, and they all look so ridiculous. But that's part of the fucking appeal.
Yeah.
Iron
sure.
Chef Italian is like, looks like he's just draped himself in the shiny Italian flag. His toque is like all the colors of the Italian
It's
flag.
kind of like professional wrestling for
Yeah, for cooks.
for cooks, right?
Yeah, it kind of is. Holy shit. Good call on that one.
Because God, that original one, I didn't give a shit about the American one. Didn't give a shit. Tried it, like, this is not as good. It's not weird. So
That's a bummer.
it's all the good alluring stuff is gone. No one's going squisson. Yeah, Iron Chef French I think he had the best record. he was close. It was between the two of them to have the best record in the whole thing. So Iron Chef French.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
Glasses of Iron Chef Japanese Masahara Morimoto.
Yes.
Which he's still like around here in America. He's got major. That's on my bucket list just to go to one of his restaurants. He was super young in the Iron Chef in Japan. Now he's pretty old. It's one simple name.
I know what it is. I can't remember the name. There's one in Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in Caesars.
I bet it's affordable.
I didn't go there, but I'm a guy who eats turkey sandwiches in his room.
Tell me your restaurants.
Is it Nobu?
Nobu. That's it.
Yeah, that's the one that's in Caesars. It took me a while to get there, but yeah, Nobu. I thought about it, but then I was like, I gotta get COVID from Chris Rock. I can't be going. I can't be spending Chris Rock money on some food. That's ridiculous.
No. Again, watch the menu starring Ray Fiennes.
I thought about it earlier today.
Well, I guess that's something.
It's better than nothing.
It is.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of time. If we're going to take a few calls, we could do that.
Sure.
Take a break, head to Community Corner.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Stay tuned for that. If I can find the button I need to press, it's somewhere around here.
Christmas presents for my boyfriend is one of the most impossible things ever.
I can't even think of anything that's new or different or will please him.
Catch this. It's Sports Illustrated's most exciting Christmas gift ever, the football phone. Free with a paid subscription to SI.
I would love something like this for Christmas.
The football phone works like a regular phone. It plugs into a standard jack and has push-button dialing, on-off ringer, mute button, and automatic redial.
I hope she orders that for Christmas for me.
And the football phone is free.
That's even better, and I don't have to go shopping for it, I hope.
What do I have to do to get this?
It's free if you get Sports Illustrated at their biggest Christmas savings ever. A year subscription at almost 65% off the cover price. You can be billed after the new year, or you can use your credit card today.
I'll buy it for my father, my brother, and my boyfriend.
You only pay 99 cents an issue, and the subscription includes all the previews in the swimsuit issue.
Sports Illustrated. I should have thought of that a long time ago.
So, Mom, if you're watching, please, for once.
Don't wait. Call our toll-free number now and get Sports Illustrated at their biggest Christmas savings ever, and get the football phone free.
I want this phone.
Time for Community Corner.
But first,
The randomizer.
yes.
We forgot something, everybody.
What Steam game do you want to play next?
I say we do that. I don't mind that at all.
Baldur's Gate 3? Okay, sounds good to me.
Our 6-part Baldur's Gate 3 series.
Maybe longer than that. How long was Scott Pilgrim versus the World? This might rival that. So what'd you guys do at Baldur's Gate 3 this week?
I will start it if we want to do that.
God, we're not going to get
I
anywhere
bought it,
near enough.
but I haven't.
I mean, yeah, we would have a multi-part series on Baldur's Gate.
I would love to talk to you guys about it, but yes, that would be it would be tough to do anything else on this podcast other than that for probably a year.
Yeah. It could easily go that long.
We could do it as, you know how Hades, it was its own segment for like nigh on 7 months.
That's
it
true.
could be like that.
Instead of intros, we just tell Baldur Gate stories.
Right? So who'd you fuck this week? No, in Baldur's Gate. We could also just do a Super Nintendo game if you want to.
I guess.
I mean, we don't have to. This is our show. We can do whatever we want.
We'll see. Let's see what the draw is. We'll see if it sounds any good to play.
Well, okay. That sounds good.
Plugging this battered up peripheral. Pull the dust
it's
off
so
it.
God,
dusty.
there's mold on it.
No mold in the other part of the garage, just back here.
I don't know.
Well, we're all looking around. We're all
Right?
looking around the room like,
Well, I think
where is it?
Well, this is also the ground in here. The floor is level with the ground, so this does have more moisture than the other, where you can see it's definitely a foot higher at least.
Well, and plus you're not able to leave the air running, so it gets really moist and hot in here.
Sultry.
So, yeah, it gets sultry in here. So that's probably part of it.
What did you say?
It's probably more like mildew than mold, if I had to guess. But I don't know.
Is mildew mold?
More of Bill don't, if I'm going to have my preference.
Hey.
So get my head on it, Wild and Crazy Kid style. Put my on hold, run direction. Say the prayer. We all have to say. Whammies, whammies, whammies. Stop.
The A's.
F's.
It is the F's.
Nice.
F1 racing.
Frantic Flea.
Oh, okay. I've actually heard of that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Frantic Flea.
Cool.
Here we go.
Well, Frantic Flea.
Or Baldur's Gate 3.
Or, yeah, we'll play some calls. You play a call or two.
Yeah.
I do.
Play
a
call
call
or
or two.
So we have time for a call or two.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dating all the way back to April the 29th of the year of our Lord, 2022. It's Terrified Michelle.
When I worked at Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills, Sinbad's mom came to our mortuary.
Sinbad's mom?
I didn't
Two
get
bad
to work
moms.
on her.
Two bad moms. Okay.
They didn't like me there, and they never let me do anything regarding seeing the living people that were not my coworkers, and definitely not a celebrity. I probably would have shamed them because I was not good enough for them. They're too upper class.
Yeah, not that you would have cast shame, but that they would have been ashamed.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I feel like they've got their own show. Like they're doing their version of a podcast.
This is a backdoor pilot.
Only over the phone to us.
Right.
And so we're actually playing their show on our show.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's okay. It's just an observation.
I don't think my stance is that it is not okay.
Where's our fucking money?
We need to do
We're not paying you guys. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Yes.
Shaming a person.
Because
First one.
they, I was just this low-class individual. And they were the upper class. Even though some of them dressed just like me, so I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I guess they could fake it so they made it, and I couldn't. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They were mean girls, and I mean like the movie Mean Girls, not just they were mean. No, I mean they were bitches.
Yeah, correspond.
Bitches. All right, bye.
I think that was a butt dial. I don't think they realized. I think they were just having a conversation.
Right.
And that phone was on.
I think you might be right. But she did say bye.
Maybe she was having a conversation
Abby got out of the car
with Abby on the way out. Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry that people were mean to you.
Yeah, fuck those. Fuck those assholes.
Fuck those bitches.
Fuck those alpha holes.
Yeah.
That's what they were.
Okay, guys, as you know, I've mentioned this before, I batch listen, so I listen to a book, and I listen to a podcast, and catch up, and then I listen to a book, and then I listen to another podcast, yada yada. Always listen in my car, always will make time for you guys, even if it's just a package. But because of that, I forgot what the hell I sent you, so when you were like, I said, this package is from Terrified Michelle and Executive Bruiser Abby, I was all like, what the fuck did I send them? I literally, and I'm turning to Abby, why do we send them? Why do we send them? And of course, I don't know. He never knows.
Oh,
never.
I am mortified. That there was this piece of cat hair in there.
I don't know why.
And Michelle's just like, good. And I'm like, I don't know.
Wait, what was it?
She said that she was mortified because there was cat hair in it, I think,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay, I caught that.
And here's what's great, Terrified Michelle. I forgot what you sent us as well. It's been so long since you've called.
No idea.
That I forgot what you... So
Me
we're
neither.
all in the same boat.
I don't remember the cat hair. I don't remember the cat hair at all. So
this might as well be an episode of Three's Company. We have no idea what's going on.
Come and play this fucking call.
Guys want to go to the Regal Beagle?
I have cat hair on everything. She rescued our last 2 cats.
Yeah.
She just has to get over this hair issue. Anyway, but I know they're probably not hot because you guys are like spicy beef.
Just use them as eye drops. Oh, sweet Lord. I mean, like...
Tomatillo is amazing, but obviously I got them because they were gunslinger hot sauces.
Yeah, and it's Stephen King.
Right, and Tyler loves the Dark Tower series.
Okay.
So gunslinger hot sauces. I did not go to Arizona to get those. I got them here in California because...
Plus World Market.
Yes.
Just so you know, like, I feel like this is equally, like, a nice thing to know that, like, sometimes we just get you gifts just, you know, like, casually. Like, isn't that equally, nice?
Yeah, I was...
I don't know. Like, I just think that you're like part of our family now.
I was shopping for my coworkers for Christmas. Yes,
there are pictures of in your house, so yes, we are like family.
I saw that, and of course you. And I was like, well, I have to give this to TADPOG. And then I wrapped it 1 billion times in the Christmas tissue paper because I think the bottles are glass, if I remember correctly, and I did not want them to break on the way over there. Okay, bye.
Thank you for that. I'm sorry that we probably threw that away. It wasn't personal, but a bunch of food went really super bad.
Or I might have eaten it, and then it just depends if it's over there on that shelf or not.
If it's not open, it's probably on the shelf.
It has wheels on it. I'll wheel it over.
Gunslinger.
That's why we need cameras in here.
Gunslinger hot sauces.
Yo!
There they are.
All right.
We've still got them.
We got them.
A little dusty. They were just sitting over there by the
Arizona
batter up
Gunslinger pepper
peripheral.
sauces.
All right.
Not thrown away. And we consider
Just
you...
saying the odds were good.
We consider you...
I mean, I ate it before it was thrown away. That one episode.
That is true. Yeah, you did a lot of damage to your body that day.
I did constitution damage for everybody.
We do consider you both part of our family as well. I mean,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, hell, you take up sometimes a whole third or more of the show. So that's got to count for something. But that's just not enough.
More.
Okay, the real nice, at least for in the state of California, means that you can't have one if you're an immigrant and illegal. See, in California, you can have a driver's license if you're an illegal immigrant. We didn't care, because, you know, we're California. It's free. We just like it that way, except for the Republicans. Anyway.
What are we talking about?
But now, yeah.
Apparently,
a weed license?
A driver's license.
Oh, okay.
And not having one. Apparently, you can have a driver's license in California if you're an illegal immigrant.
Oh, okay. I'm a little surprised by
her
that.
Her phone, I think, is in her purse.
Yeah, it's not wherever it is. It's like
super
not
muffled.
near her mouth.
Sorry,
she's
to
put it in the
assume that
mouth
you
of the
carry a
dead
purse.
person that she's embalming. She's like, you hold this for me.
Terrified Michelle.
I got to talk to my family. You hold this.
Terrified Michelle, I apologize for assuming you carry a purse, but now I want to know. Do you carry a purse?
You can get a driver's license, but you cannot get a real ID. You can't get a plane thing. I guess it was assumption. This is what I heard. It could be all wrong, and they're just trying to streamline everything, and I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorist.
I got nothing, man. I don't know what she's saying.
I heard point of damage and conspiracy theories.
Okay, bye.
Maybe she's calling from a phone that is also a pillow.
A Pillow Pal phone.
Maybe.
The transcript reads, okay, the realized state of California means that you can't have one. If you're an immigrant legal in California, you can have a driver's license your illegal immigrant week there because, you know, California anyway. But no, yes, you can get a driver's license.
Man, I love the idea of illegal immigrant week.
I should be realizing you mean I guess that's what I heard when they're just like I'm not trying to be security key. That's it.
Okay.
Whole call.
All right.
good.
Thanks for your call.
Neither one of those made any sense. Okay. May 1st, 2022, 9:07 a.m.
Hey, it's 9:07
Exactly
p.m.
9:07
right now.
p.m. right now.
Okay, here's my theory.
You know, in 4 minutes, it'll be 9/11.
Vampires becoming more beautiful over time. Okay, so how we depicted the devil in early times, and even sometimes now, is this ugly-ass creature. But the devil is supposed to be, well, Lucifer is supposed to be the most beautiful angel, because most of the time, you're not going to be tempted or lured by some ugly-ass creature. You're going to be tempted and lured by a beautiful creature.
I mean, someone married us.
Same thing with vampires. The better key to it is if they're beautiful. Okay? I mean, I'm not going to let some ugly vampire or vampire girl, but she's still a vampire, but I had to distinguish just for the story, be like, hey, you want to go out with me? And then, I don't know, somehow secretly bite my fucking neck. But
I think you might, Michelle. I love you, but I think you might.
Or if you have a really nice personality. That is it for you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's pretty good.
If
we're gonna roll through our intro and hit time.
If you want to give us a call, you can do so. 270-883-2555. If you have a pillow phone, you can try calling us from that.
Or if you want to send us that pillow phone, you can send that to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42001.
Yes. Someone please honestly send me a Garfield phone. That's just it's a request. I just really want one. I just can't bring myself to actually buy one. But if someone were to buy it for me and then send it in, then that would be okay.
What about a football phone? Would you accept the football phone?
Got to be a Garfield phone for me, but if you want a football phone, someone send a football phone into Ian. Tyler, what kind of phone do you want? We're picking phones.
We're phone shopping, like for landline telephones, which we will totally be able to use.
You got something in mind you want?
I think of the 90s clear phone where you could see all the electronics in it.
Perfect. There you go, listener.
Are.
You got your marching orders. Garfield phone for me, football phone for Ian, clear phone for Tyler. Chop chop.
Or a
post haste.
Or a bag phone like Taryn had carried in a family reunion, so they would know that she's better than them.
Good shit.
I don't want a bag phone. Garfield phone. If you want to change yours to a bag phone, that's fine. Garfield phone for me.
Football phone.
Football phone for Ian.
A clear, lighted up on the inside phone for Tyler.
Or a bag phone. Your pick.
Or a bag phone. Okay.
Tyler can bring his bag phone into Michelle's work and make her feel sad. For being so fancy.
So fancy. Oh, shit. What else do we do? We're on all the things and all the places.
Search for TADPOG.
But it's also important that you taste the piss.
Well, we're not doctors. This is not medical advice. But yes, you can tastethepiss.com if you want to.
And if you taste the piss and you like it, it will become an official piss drinker.
An epistle.
An piss. That's
God damn it.
Fuck. What episode is this? 300 something? Got it in 300.
It's like 727.
Got it in 700 something.
Whew. Yeah, it's not even the half-life of the show.
Yeah. We are rapidly approaching 800.
300 was like fucking
shit, that was a different life.
F-Zero. I'm gonna look it up while you finish it. I want to know.
But yeah, what's that Patreon?
Patreon is a platform in which people that like
drink
want
piss
to give money.
What year was it?
No, I'm sorry. I just want to say Webster's Dictionary defines Patreon as Cattle Wash Shoujo.
Oh, okay. So that was all right.
Fuck, I've been listening to this show a long time because I remember that.
So it's right. That's right before Melissa and I got together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, back to the important stuff. Patreon.com/TADPOG or pisstasters.com is where you can go if you would like to donate money to the show. And we have lots of generous donors. We have lots of people who just give us their money because they like what we do. And I cannot tell you how utterly appreciative we are of that.
Yes.
Every single time I get that money at the beginning of the month, I think about every one of you and think, thank you, because it really helps us out, helps the show, helps us in our personal lives.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It does.
It makes a difference. So thank you.
Thank you.
We do have a list of our executive producers.
I do want to say something though before you get into it, if you don't mind, and that is that when you get me the Garfield phone and Ian the football phone, and Tyler the clear phone, I can't do it.
I looked away to stop you from fucking.
I know it. That made it funnier. That made it funnier because I saw you about to laugh, and then you look away suddenly, and I'm like, "Fuck, there I go."
I'm sorry. I tried. I tried.
No, that's on me, man. That's on me. That's not on you. That's on me. But my point is, if you get me the Garfield phone and Ian the football phone and Tyler the clear phone, please don't lower your donation because we also need that money.
No, that's extra. You're just giving us that.
This is a gift. This is a gift just because you might happen to have that football phone that you don't want anymore laying around.
Yeah. Did you laugh once while you listened to this episode? If you do, you owe me a Garfield phone, Ian a football phone, and Tyler a clear phone.
Or a bag phone.
Or a
bag phone.
Just be careful shipping that bag phone because that battery is probably going to explode.
Just lie to the post office like I do every time. Like, are there batteries in this? Not at all.
Post office jet crashed into rural Chicago land today.
Yeah, that was a joke, by the way. I've never done that. This is a comedy podcast.
Well, that was funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
we own every video game we play on this show.
Onto the list of executive producers. These are the folks that donate $20 a month or more to the show, and we are going to read your names right here because you just matter that much to us. Starting with Usurper Grimm, Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G. Ooh, my mouse flicked on me. There she is. Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl. Congratulations on your marriage, and thank you for all the fine, awesome Louisville facts.
She's been corresponding the fuck out of our Discord at tastethepiss.com.
God, I know. I love it. Pinball, Airplane, Archmage, Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first-time caller, Drink Smith, Joey Webster, Dig Dougie, Derek Pope Sandwich, and Cody Phillips. Thank you so much for your generous donations.
Yes.
We just, again, that it goes a long way. It helps. And if you would like to get in on the conversation with us, you can do that at tastethepiss.com. That is our Discord. It's free, and we hang out there all the time. There's always some good discussion going on, not just about the show, but about all the cool things we're into and the things we like to talk about and do. Oh, and also, before I forget, thank you to Backlog Banisher Dane for putting the show on YouTube.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks a lot for that, my
man.
Thank you. It's super cool of you to do that. And
because you do that, you are excused from getting us me a Garfield phone, Ian a football phone, and Tyler a clear phone.
Yeah,
you don't. Please don't do that. I'm just talking to Dane.
Or do I don't? If Dane, if you want to do it, you can. Don't listen to him.
All right, that's
to me.
fine. That's fair. That's fair.
It's up to you.
In fact, Dane, now this is your responsibility.
Find someone to buy us these phones.
The eyes on the Garfield phone have to work.
Oh, it all has to work. Every single bit of this has to work.
We will not accept Garfield phones that do not open and close their eyes when the phone receiver is picked up.
Ugh.
How could you even say such a thing?
Return to sender. Yeah.
We will ask the post office to screen the package to make sure it is working before they bother to bring it.
They will do
do
it.
that.
It's an expensive feature, but they will do it.
Just keep an eye out. Scan every package that comes through. If it happens to have a Garfield phone in it, we need you to inspect it. They agree to do this.
Also, draw Garfield on the package as if the box itself is Garfield.
Okay,
this is important. That way, the post office knows what package to look for.
Yarn. Lots and lots of yarn. Orange and black yarn on the outside that matches Garfield's fur pattern.
They love that.
They
So
do.
when you say Garfield phone, I think of the one of him loafing, laying down.
That's the one I am thinking of.
There's
as
another
well.
one where he's standing up.
Holy shit, I am so glad you brought this up. Do not send me a phone with Garfield standing up.
Never do
Garfield
that.
loaf is the way to go with the
Yes.
eyes that opening.
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, can I see the one with him standing up? Do you have that handy?
Oh, that's that is an abomination.
Fuck that. No.
That is an abomination.
It's also half the price, so don't skim.
Don't cheap out.
So you could buy Dave the loaf Garfield phone
I'm so glad you brought that up.
for just 4 interest-free payments of $32.50.
perfect. That's nothing. No, that is cheap. That is a
No,
value.
I'm saying, oh my God, because like I can't believe that a priceless heirloom would cost so little.
I agree. Yes. What about an ESPN football phone, Tyler? What are those going for?
Let's
Now, is this the football that is a loaf or the football that is standing?
The loaf one.
Oh, okay.
And also, this phone was made available with purchase of a 1-year
my
subscription of Sports Illustrated.
I remember that.
I said ESPN, but it's Sports Illustrated.
Holy shit, man! They used to run those fucking ads.
I know.
on me, like,
And
a
I
lot,
wanted
yeah.
one.
Oh man.
I wanted one real bad, and I never got one. Sports Illustrated football phone, not ESPN, Tyler.
Oh, Sports Illustrated. Best thing is ESPN isn't yielding no results.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated football phone. I misspoke a minute ago. That doesn't come through on the recording. Just FYI.
Substantially cheaper.
Yes.
As it should be.
So
Because
for
it's not as elite
'Cause it's-
or as cool
It
as
is
the Garfield.
definitely
phone.
not as elite or cool as a Garfield phone.
Unless you're me and it's the better choice, then it's more elite and cool than the Garfield phone, Dave.
because it is a flip phone. So the whole football is the phone, is what I'm seeing.
Can we see this?
Let me see it.
Yeah.
I thought it had a thing in
Like
the
a
cradle.
cradle. Yeah,
like
right.
Garfield's back.
I don't know that that's
That's the only one I'm seeing.
Maybe that's it.
No, maybe that. Yeah, I think that might be it.
There, you can swipe, right?
So
Throw
for
it
the
in my
low
photos?
price of $28 plus $10
Oh,
shipping,
damn, that's a fucking
you could
steal.
buy in.
I'm not buying this. One of you has to buy it for me.
Right.
That is the deal.
All our wives have banned us buying any more novelty phones. We purchased too many of them in our lives. They're taking up too much space in all of our spare rooms. The only way we can get these phones is if somebody gifts them to us.
Yep.
And for me, the vintage 90s landline light up clear phone,
I love it.
$25 free shipping on eBay.
So go ahead and knock out mine and Tyler's first, and then you can get to Dave's whenever you want. That's fine. He'll just that's what he gets for picking the more expensive choice.
I didn't know it was the most expensive one. It makes sense that
if
it is.
you have to ask, you can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
So
That
don't
is
worry.
true.
You know, you like what you like.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And the loaf Garfield phone that opens his eyes when you pick up the cradle or the handset out of the cradle is pretty fucking cool.
It's choice. If you have the means, I recommend it.
Highly recommend it.
Here is one that mounts to the wall.
Fuck
He's got
that.
his claws out
No.
like he's shredding a
No. Loaf.
It's made by Tyco.
That is cute, but loaf.
Because loaf is cheaper
Then the
than
scratchy
and
one.
so is the price varies wildly. Because where I saw
As it
that was
does
from
for these
Mercari.
things.
This is on eBay. So here is one, the 81 Tyco Garfield loaf phone, $48. And here's another 78.
God damn it, I'm gonna buy this shit.
$150.
No, I prohibit you from buying it. You have to get it as a gift from a listener.
We started looking at eBay's open. It can't be helped now.
Really, Dave needs to own the triumvirate of the 3 Garfield style phones. Because every person in his family needs their own Garfield
No,
phone.
I'm gonna arrange them like War of the Magi. Like,
The War He Tried from Final Fantasy VI.
yeah, that's gonna be in my office space. No one will appreciate it, but us. It'll be our thing.
Then we have to get like pixel art, 6 bit renderings of us, like for Final Fantasy characters.
Of course, right? But we're like Kefka at the end. We're just like a amalgamation of the 3 of us.
I think that's pretty good. Our theme song is Moves. I was thinking we're driving to that track from the shorts at TADPOG.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As our favorite phone.
Me as a Garfield phone, Ian as a football phone, and Tyler as a clear phone. If I knew our P.O. box, I'd give it to you again right now, but I don't know it.
TADPOG Studios, care for Nicole, Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42001.
Buy phones.
So until next time, Tropical Capricorn. Like a 90s girl.
Yeah,
I
that was
guess.
good. That was good.
Football announcer.
Yeah, I was Josh Nance.
He's the most Garfield out of all of us.
If you made it this far and you live in Bulgaria, I know you have the means to get me a Garfield phone, Ian a football phone, and Tyler a clear phone.
Uh-huh.
You've got us in the 94th spot on Video Game Podcast. You can get us these. You can make this happen.
Yeah, you can. Because you care enough to get us this high on the charts.
Right.
We're charting. Thanks to you. It can only get better if you send us the Garfield phone for Dave, the football phone for me, and the 90s light up clear phone for Tyler.
If you live in Bulgaria and you meet our demands and provide me a Garfield phone, Ian a football phone, and Tyler a clear phone, we will individually call you from those phones.
Yep.
In Bulgaria.
Yep. Throw some Miak in there too. I'd like to try it.
This is my promise to you.
That's a Dave Moore promise is a guarantee. I would gamble money on a Dave Moore promise.
Make it happen.
Thanks.
So to be clear, just to
No, I
make
wanna
sure
be
you
clear.
understand.
Yeah, no, I do feel like we do need to make it clear.
We want we want someone to send us
from Bulgaria.
A Garfield loaf phone, a loaf Garfield that the eyes open when you lift the handset out of the cradle.
Yes.
A limited edition Sports Illustrated classic football phone for me.
Yes.
My name's Ian.
That's correct.
And a clear plastic see-through light up 90s style phone for Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got it. That's it.
Okay. Did I leave anything out?
These have to be American phones. You can't buy Bulgarian versions of these phones. I don't even know if they were
fucking knockoffs.
Right. You can't 3D print this either.
No. We'll know.
I've seen what the 3D printed guns do. I don't want that to happen with Garfield's face.
We will know.
Yes, we will.
Illustrate bless.